when it comes to reading the Bible. The first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Well, hello there. Hello there. How is everybody doing today? My name is Elder Rawchaa, and I'm going to be your host tonight. Tuesday nights with G.O.C.C Media. I am your host, Elder Rawchaa. Okay? And tonight we're going to be talking about no respecter of persons and no favoritism. Now, why are we talking about this topic tonight? Well, hey, long time coming. Not like you never heard it before, but we're going to bring it to we're going to bring a few things to the forefront tonight of how we can all do better in our households as elderly men, raising our nation, women, helping with that, to bring forth fruits meet for repentance for the Most High. Okay, so you're probably like, where are you going with this? Well, you're going to see where I'm going with it. Okay, and you will not leave without any wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, as you never do. Okay, you will be able to take something, if it be the Most High's will, something from this tonight for you, your family, your children, without spoiling your children. So we're going to talk about that, because a lot of people are under the impression that because my child is an Israelite, he's just special. He's not. You have to make him special. You have to make her special. Okay, and guess what? The Most High have given us the grace. He's given us Christ to be able to do so. So there is grace. There is grace for a fallen people that's captive. So I'm not talking about anything negative. Just talking about now that we know who we are, now that who we are has come to the forefront, and everything the Most High said is coming to fruition. To whom much is given, much is required. That's it. Now, you probably said, Elder, you said you was going to bring the bread video. Believe it or not, I am. It's actually being worked on right now in parts. If it be the Most High's will, beyond any shadow of a doubt, it will be here next week. I have people calling me, Elder Rawchaa, say, hey, brother, where's that bread video? I'm like, listen, I am very busy. A lot of people don't know how busy I am, but I am actually very busy, doing a lot of things, and I'm still catching up from the hailstorm. And it would have, if I wasn't busy, I would have been finished. But I am busy. That's just the reality of it. So I I'm a man of many different things, many different you understand, positions and things. So I have a lot on my plate. So I'm going to miss the summer garden because I still could not even finish fixing my greenhouse yet. I mean, I'm still harvesting food from it, praise the Most High. But I could not even have the time right now to tend to it, praise the Most High. And that's the great part about why I tell you guys to make sure you save food, because if some fail, the great part about it, I still have a bunch of food saved. And my garden still giving me food. It's just not tidy as I would like it after the hailstorm. We've been getting beat with heat and rain from this so-called climate change initiative that these people have, that I showed you on the United Nations site. Okay, it's not some type of conspiracy, as we know, if you've been paying attention, that they said this will be their next initiative after the 2020 cold. This is literally what they said, okay? So now the heat is at an all-time high, and I'm making sure that I, try to get my house as cool as possible, because next thing you know, they're going to be saying, oh, Texas, ERCOT, we don't have enough energy because everybody's using up the energy. Yeah. So on and so forth. But we have to do what we need to do to make it and endure through these times. This is going to be one of them tonight, but I will. And I am a man of my word. I mean, listen, one thing about me, that's all I have to say. You know what I'm saying? I had people running from me knowing I keep my word when I used to be in the streets. I keep my word on all levels. But men go through their trials, tribulations. They go through obstacles. We're just men. But I'm going to keep my word. The bread video is coming. The bread video was actually going to come today. But I don't do things that's not organized. So I had a few things that I wanted to add in there to make sure that it's all the way right, and make sure I have all of my sources. I got all the information, but it's just be patient. Got you. But what you can do is, I think I told you guys the type of wheat to order, and I will remind you again. Let me see because I know I sent this to someone in the message. Because and if not, my wife, send me a message of which ones, because my mind's all over the place, of what to send to people. Again, of which wheat, because I know I said it to you guys last time, but I think I missed some of them, one or two. Let's see here. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it just really quick. I probably can. Because someone actually called me. I have it. Because someone actually called me and requesting, hey, that I come out with this bread thing. So I got you guys. Some of the main ones, okay? Because you have to know what you're doing, or you're going to be complaining about, why is my bread not coming out like the modern day bread? Guess what? Because you can't compare anything of the Most High's to the world's. You can't compare this white bread garbage to the Most High's bread. Are you kidding me? The daily bread scripture that we're talking about, you cannot compare this modern day garbage to the Most High's bread. You cannot compare our calendar to this calendar, our 364-day calendar to this calendar. See? You cannot break down this time by the moons, because the Most High didn't say anything. The Most High did was already perfect. So when we try to compare everything, and and I'm going to show you how some people try to sift. You don't need to sift. You can, but I'm going to show you all the research about why people started sifting this bread, but you're taking out the nutrients. Now, if you're getting enough of it and you just want to sift it to get something a certain way, but there's so many recipes out there, and you will even be able to form your own for your own palate and your own household. But I'm going to tell you, it don't taste nasty at all. It tastes very good. You don't really need sugar in it. If you want to put a little sugar, you can, but you're going to be happy. That's all I'm going to say. Hard red wheat. I'm going to tell you, personally, I would get organic or non-GMO. And for, personally, because if they spray this stuff, you might want to make sure you get the right one. Hard white wheat, soft white wheat. Okay. The hard red and the hard white is for breads. Soft white is for biscuits and cakes and etc. So, it's just some more you can get to add to, and we're going to give you the formula of what black people do. We're not just going to give you something of what we love Edom, but we have different ways of different palates. That does not mean that Edom does not like what we like today. That's not what I'm saying, but we know that Jake just likes to have something a certain way. So if you're an Edomite wife and you have a Jake husband, you're going to have to flip that thing, whip that thing up like how he like it. And I'm sure he's going to tell you to. And vice versa. So I've just got to be real about it. I'm sorry. Anyway, because we know in captivity we've married different nations. It is what it is now. So, but we got to have that palate on point, because the Most High said, don't come with anything of my sacrifices lacking salt or spices or seasoning or flavor, okay? So, I gave you those. This is some extras you can get that I get. These are the expensive ones that I like to get because they are more dense in nutrients. And the other ones are just as dense, but these have just a little bit more. And they could probably help with texture and just different little nutty flavors. That's going to be spelt kamut. And I think one more. I know spelt and kamut. And what's the other one? Einkorn. There we go. Most High didn't let me forget it today. Einkorn. I get all of those extra, but they are a little bit more expensive, so I don't get as much as the extras, but I might sprinkle a little bit of them things up in there with the others just to make sure I'm getting a boatload of the others, okay? So purchase that and get yourself ready to make your bread, to make your muffins, to make your cookies, to make your cakes, because I wouldn't have married my wife if she couldn't cook. That's just the reality of it. You can be nice. You can have a nice body. You can have all these things. You can't cook. Hey, I can't look your way. So anyway, you got to be able to cook. Anyway, that's besides the point. Also, I'm going to be going into a lesson pretty soon about something we all can learn about. Man, the plastics in the clothing. And the Most High have given us grace, and he's protecting us. Those of us who have not known this whole time. But I'm going to tell you, I work out in this gym, and everybody dealing with a greenhouse effect in the areas that sweat. I'm just going to say that. And you know, it's really important that you try your best to get 100% cotton. And especially the things that's touching your skin. Try your best. I mean, it's not going to be overnight. I'm talking about the socks. Our feet can help our immune system. Like there's pits under our feet of why we soak our feet. There's hookworms that can come under your feet to get in your colon and all that. I went to Walmart the other day, guys, and couldn't find 100% cotton socks anymore. Now you can still find some shirts, but they got this new thing called the wicking system. No, I don't need the wicking system, because there might be some wicking stuff up in that thing. I just need what the Most High made, which was already perfect. Linen, cotton, see? And what else? What else is it? Linen, cotton, and wool. You know, silk and all that. Obviously, that's the extra stuff, but these things are so important because the Most High made our bodies to be protected from sweat and all other types of defense mechanisms and bugs on our body. We have more bugs on our body than actual cells, human cells. So we're going to go into these people are diabolical. I mean, to where when you sweat, guys, this plastic is leaching into your skin. They found in male sperm plastics inside of it. In the sisters' bloodstreams, all that. And you know they got them with the yoga pants. I'm gonna tell you right now, I took my wife the other day shopping. Nope. 100% cotton sports pants, 100% cotton shirt. No, we ain't playing that. You my queen, we ain't rolling like that. And I dress different than everyone else in the gym. I'm just not going to be like everyone else. That's just me. I'm my own. I have my own style. I'm me. You know what I mean? So I try to I got my cargo pants like I'm in the army. I'm ready for war. I got my 100% cotton shirts on, my 100% cotton cargo pants. Believe it or not, they have 100% cotton cargo pants. I go around looking for them. You're not going to find everything in one place, so I have to go around mixing and matching. The style may not be the best, but if you got your body looking right, anything you put on will be banging. That's just the truth about it. So I try to give y'all the game about getting yourself in shape, because even if the clothes is not up to par, because you can't find these things the way you would like it in everywhere, you got to get your body on point to be able to look good in your clothes. That's just the reality of it. So I think we all got some work to do. All right. So let's go into our lesson today. I've been seeing this since 2000 and probably like 21 that they made these new laws. Um, okay, they made these new laws, and make sure if you guys want to know where to get this wheat from, this is just one spot. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it from different spots that you find. But I found that this is the cheapest. I have ordered it from other sites that are a good price too. But Azure Standards seems to be the cheapest. You just have to put a little work in. When the truck comes to your area, you have to help the people unload it. You might have to get in like a little either a Telegram or WhatsApp group. Okay, with to actually be able to get it. Because I'm gonna tell you something. What country was that? My wife told me the whole country, because the other side of the world is preparing for war. They are right now doing wheat preservation. If wheat was bad for you, they wouldn't be preserving it. The whole country is locking down wheat, and eventually, it may be to where we cannot. In a few years, it's probably not going to be now, get some of this stuff. But I wouldn't wait a few years. We don't know what's going to happen. So, because this stuff, the great part about it, it can be stored indefinitely, okay? So, I digress on that. I just wanted to put that out for you. AZURE standard.com is where you can get it, okay? Also, make sure, as you know how we come on this thing, that you, if you are not already in it, if you're a Christian, Muslim, whatever religion you're in, if you really want to understand why we say Ahaya, why we call him Yeshaya and not Jesus, if you want to understand and not getting into the spirit of debate, all you have to do is if you are a person who wants to be studious, this is what you can do. Because guess what? We study all people's religions. I've done it in college. We do it in our Hebrew and Bible Academy. And if you're a Christian or Muslim, so should you. Guess what? You can join our Hebrew and Bible Academy, historytimes.org, and you can learn more about why we call ourselves the children of Israel, because we are. That's one. But you can find out the truth of the matter of why the whole world is hiding it. So if you're interested in learning why, when we come to the other side of the world, some of your grandfathers, some of your grandmothers are calling us the children of Jacob, Bani Yaakov, Bani Israel, meaning the sons of Israel, and that they know that there's two children of Israel. There's an official one, and there's one who's just have converted through religion. And that religion was not our religion. They just made it up. But that's neither here nor there. I can't give everything away. You can go to our Hebrew and Bible Academy. All you have to do is go to historytimes.org. If you're serious, if you are a serious Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, atheist, whatever you want to call yourself, I guarantee you that you're going to learn more than you did in your own religion. You're going to learn than you did in your college, your high school, and you're going to have a whole different purpose in life. You're going to look at the world different, and you're going to look at our people different. Who is our people? The 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 tribes of Jacob, who was surnamed Israel after he battled the angel. Okay? Yes. So, we've traveled to your countries. We speak a little bit of your language. We've done it all. We understand that your people have taken a part in our slavery and us being captives as Arabs, okay, as Hamites, as Edomites, so-called white people. Okay, so you should learn the same thing too if you call yourself to be a studious religious monk. Well, not monk, but Hey, I'm just joking. But anyway, if you take your study serious. Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. We want to talk about a few things. In California, there's just these laws that were created in 2021. I think I mentioned them a few times. And I think Elder Rawchaa probably showed it a few times, maybe on his Patreon or on the Sabbath class. They're just going into these department stores and just taking things. And a lot of people probably have wondered, why is this actually going on? Like, why would the American government, the state of California, allow such a thing? Okay, why would they allow these hoodlums, okay, what they would call them, or these what they really want to call them, terrorists? Why would they allow these people to come in, you understand, and just riot the place and just thieve. If America is, built on the customs of the Bible. And to digress, there's Louisiana who is pushing for the Bible to be put back in the schools. Don't know if there's an agenda behind it, and also Oklahoma saying that it needs to happen now. So, hey, there's some states that's stepping up saying, hey, this thing of this rainbow thing is getting too out of hand. Let's put some things back in there. Now, like I said, let's hope it's not an agenda behind it. But anyway, let's go into this thing and talk about it really quick. And I'm going to go into some scriptures to relate on why, our people shouldn't take part of this. If you're out there stealing in California, okay, calling yourself a Hebrew and just because they have lightened up the laws a little bit, thinking that that's something you can go do, it's not something you should go do. You don't need the Bible to know that thou should not steal. You should know that taking things from others is wrong. You don't need a religious book. Even though the Bible is not a religious book, it's an actual history book for Israelites in the whole world. But you should know not to go and take things from others. Okay? So, I want to go into this article really quick. Yeah, you might want to pay attention tonight. This is coming from Hoover.org, okay? Hoover.org. So I just want to bring the origin of this law and how it came about, why shoplifting is now de facto legal in California. All right. Google shoplifting in San Francisco, and you will find more than 100,000 hits. And you will find lots of YouTube videos. Not only San Francisco, guys, LA and other parts of California, where you can watch a single thief, an entire gang, walk into a San Francisco Walgreens or CVS and empty the shelves. Not only are these people going into jewelry stores, iPhone departments, clothing stores, guys, they're going into pharmacies. I didn't know that. Emptying the shelves. Okay? Most walk in. Let me make sure I can see the chat here. Most walk in, go about their pilfering, and then walk out. Though at least one thief rode their bike into the store and departed the same way, carefully navigating their two-wheeler down a narrow aisle. Now, what laws have been changed to where a person thinks that they can ride a bike inside of a store with bunches of people and groups of people in gangs and when I say gangs, I'm just talking about a group of people. I'm not calling these people gangs because I don't know them. What makes them become brave to do such a thing? Well, that's what we're reading about here. Let's go to the second paragraph here. We probably shouldn't call it shoplifting anymore, since that term connotes the idea of a person trying to conceal their crime. These people are actually not trying to conceal their crime. There must have been some type of trumpet blown in the city where these people, or the state of California, where these people think it's okay and it's legal. In San Francisco, there is no attempt to conceal theft. And there is almost never any effort by store employees, including security personnel, to confront thieves. The most they do is record the thefts with their cell phones. Now, I want you to pay attention here. Nothing is for free in this world, guys. I'm going to say it again. Nothing is for free. Evil will eventually come to a halt. There's nothing bad that will ever be able to continue, especially not in this place. Guys, when have they just allowed you to come and do what they have done to get this country? Especially our people. And who do you see mostly in these stores, guys? Unfortunately, you see the children of Israel, aka the children of God, who don't know that they're the children of God. So I'm telling you, Hispanics, Native Indians, so-called Negroes. You are the children of God. You might not want to be in these places doing these things. And if you have, you might want to clean yourself up and start a new life somewhere else, because I'm going to tell you, it's not going to end the way that you think it is. And I know some of you, even in our church, probably have family there. You probably know exactly what's going on. You better hope that you are not in cahoots in dealing with this. No different than this PPP loan and all of this. Let me tell you guys, Esau is watching everything. They're telling them to get you on camera, probably sending it into a database. That's probably why they're not actually trying to follow you. They can't put their hands on you and do anything. Notice they told the Gentiles something to where the Gentiles just allow you to do it, because back in the days, these Arabs will beat people on the East Coast. No, these Arabs will beat you up out of there, or maybe pull a firearm on you. I've seen some videos with some brothers who's supposed to be so hard getting beat by Chinese and Arabs out of these stores. But right, and then they want some people to march for them later, not knowing that they've stolen something out the store. But don't think that these people don't want to protect their stores and everything that they're losing, because they want you to buy it. There's insurance on these stores, so they're not going to tell you everything of why it's going on, but we're talking about the surface part right now. But it's not going to end how they think. So let's continue. All right. The most they do is record the thefts with their cell phones. We're at the end of paragraph 1. Why is shoplifting so rampant? Because the state law holds that stealing merchandise worth $950 or less is just a misdemeanor, which means that law enforcement probably won't bother to investigate, and if they do, prosecutors will let it go. Why are they allowing this place to turn into Sodom and Gomorrah? Why is the show Colony showing California? Why do all of these end of the world movies happen in New York, California? Why? Huh? Why is these things going on in Chicago? Guys, a lot of these places, they've been talking about this since we've been starting our church. Same old laws that California had, New York had them when in 2020. You have to pay attention what's going on and prepare for the worst. Okay? Because our people are going to get something very similar in the book of Josephus, the historian, of what happened in 70 AD. It's so many different snares that they have out there for our people. We might want to be paying attention. Okay? Making sure that your teenager is not out there. You understand? Because we have a lot of people claiming that they're Hebrews, but they're out there still, committing all types of crimes, committing all type of sin. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They ready to come to a music fest. They ready to come to all the fun stuff. But they are not serious about what this is. So are they really any different than what's going on in the world? Huh? Hey, and I'm not peeking into people's windows. People can do what they want. But there's not going to be any favoritism for you. There's not going to be any respect of persons because you call yourself a son of Abraham or a daughter of Abraham. Because your one of your parents is a leader or known among the leaders. You will not make it under the Most High like that. You're thinking that. Well, my mom is friends with the elder, or my dad is an elder, or my dad is a deacon, or my dad is an officer, so you can sin. You guys better make sure that you take care of your children, because we're going to show you what happens in the Bible if you don't. Even with the grace that we have, because we know people are learning and coming forth to the knowledge of the truth. So there is grace of a transition that we all have. But sometimes you'll have some of our people take things a little too far. Befriending people of the world, getting caught up into all of these things here. And then that actually makes the truth look very bad. It makes all of the good works that we do look very bad. Okay? So if some of your friends are out there doing crazy stuff, some of your co-workers, don't think that these people out here in California are just going to allow this. Right? So, let me take these off here. Give me one moment. So, let's go. Why won't store employees do anything about this theft? Because they don't want to take risk. I doubt many would. Knowing that a Rite Aid employee was murdered recently after trying to stop 2 thieves. So someone actually got murdered trying to stop them guys. There's been reports of people pulling out guns on these people. So some people think that, hey, this is okay. I mean, every time there's some type of, Black Death or something, we want to go riot and tear down the stores. In California, don't forget the Rodney King situation years ago, right? Places like Detroit, Chicago. Listen, they are used of our people rioting and going crazy. They're used of going to war with our people in these places. Detroit at one point was a total war zone with tanks out there. California, yeah. Katrina, New Orleans. Guys, they're setting our people up for failure. We have to stand on the side of righteousness because the Most High has no respect of persons. Just because you call yourself a Hebrew, He's not going to have favoritism on you just because you call on His name and not doing what He says. But you are doing worldly things, attaching yourself to the body. What happens when a sore is on the body? Naturally, the sore usually heals itself and the dead skin falls off. See? So, hey, if you're a part of the body and you're still not getting healed, hey, you're going to fall off just like that dead skin. Only parts that are going to stay on the body is something that's living. Dead flesh will rot away. Dead skin will rot away. So you have to grow up, mature, and be who you're called to be. A queen, a princess, a king, a prince. A warrior of the Most High, not a warrior of the world. Okay? So, let's jump down because I don't want to read the whole thing. Because of this, because of this law, California is extending an open invitation to anyone to walk in and take. Just like that. Since they know that the police or prosecutors won't bother with a misdemeanor complaint, and that store personnel won't stop them. It's not just pharmacies that are being ransacked. Recently, San Francisco's Neiman Marcus was targeted by thieves who had a hankering for designer bags and hit the purse department hard. The video shows one after another running out. As apparently there were 10 thieves. They stole over $950 per thief, misdemeanor limit. So these thieves are calculating what they can go in there and get. Right? Let's we'll read it. This video gives a whole new meaning to the term curbside pickup, which is the door that the thieves departed from before they jumped into the getaway vehicles. And if you are one of those who identify Neiman Marcus with needless markup, well, now you know those markups help cover the cost of theft insurance and stolen merchandise, costs that are passed on to those who choose to acquire merchandise the old-fashioned way by paying for it. Governor Newsom recently signed a new law in which shoplifting is a felony, even if it is below the 950 limit. If, and this is a big if, the theft is part of an organized ring with intent to sell the stolen goods, sadly, this may have little effect on the shoplifting, given that most of these thefts are by individuals rather than groups, and it will still be up to the police to prosecute to charge these as felonies. What is needed is a change to the state law that makes shoplifting at a much lower dollar level a felony, to provide adequate incentives to individuals not to commit these crimes. Unfortunately, it is not just shoplifting in San Francisco that is getting headlines. Though San Francisco's out of control drug problem makes this issue much worse than otherwise it would be. You're talking about, let me tell you, one of the LGBT capitals. one of the Sodom and Gomorrahs of America. San Francisco. Crime is rising almost everywhere in California, including violent crime. Homicides in California jumped 31% last year. And this article is from 2021, making 2020 the deadliest year since 2007. The 2,202 homicides in 2020 represent an increase of 523 over 2019. Homicides in Los Angeles rose 40% to 332, and they rose 35% to 285 in San Francisco. Both San Francisco and Los Angeles feature district attorneys who are perceived to be soft on crime and are both facing possibility of a recall election. Gives a whole new take on defunding the police, doesn't it? So we're going to whoa. You know what? Nope, we got to read a little bit more. These increases put the spotlight on California's recent legal change that provides shorter sentences for prisoners, including violent felons. Largely because of the budgetary issues, California prison costs are among the highest in the country, $81,000 annually per prisoner. And also Newsom's decision to suspend the state's death penalty law via executive order. California will allow 63,000 prisoners out of a population of 115,000 the possibility of early release. This includes death row inmates Richard Allen Davis, one of the 737 murders in the system, who was a released felon when he murdered Paulie Klaas in 1993. So we'll leave it there with that. But we have some more articles and videos to talk about, and we're going to go into some scriptures about why we need to continue to stay separate from the world, why we need to make sure our household's in order, because these people are allowing, for some odd reason, this to go on. Is it because they're going to bring in the military later? Is it because they're going to bring in AI protection later as security? Right? National Guard. We're going to see in time. But don't think that these Gentiles are just allowing our people to just do what they want. Our people, we don't see when there's some type of snare or net or trap. And they also get greedy. I mean, and this stuff is so regular in California. Let me tell you, I have family in California. So I'm going to tell you right now, people are becoming foolish. People are becoming foolish. Let me tell you, whatever's going to happen in California down the line, it's just not going to be good. And you know the crazy part about this? The sad part about my generation and the generation after me, it was not like, it was a lot of more pretenders who didn't have to live a life of crime. I'm just telling you the truth. At least the neighborhoods that I grew up in. I grew up in the total hood. But then my mom worked hard to get us out of the hood. But they turned that into the hood because they wanted to be hard. They wanted to be gang members. There was people coming down from California, so-called OGs, to set up new gangs in Houston. When I was down here, they had Black Disciples. You had Southwest Cholos. You had Mexican Mafia. Let me tell you, you had almost every gang. And then the people in New York, I'm like, they had gangs all the way on that side. And when I was doing music in the streets, gangbanging was played out. So to see California, man, because I know they have the island life in California. The island life is very relaxed. They don't want to work. A lot of California men likes to strip. There's strippers on the side. That's the truth about it. I know them. I did music. I had people under me, a lot of people from Oakland, the Bay, LA, all that. San Bernardino, I know all these places. So a lot of them are lazy men. They rather continue up the Grand Theft Auto lifestyle than go and get a job or lay under some woman while they have a wife beater on with some house slippers on with Dickies. This is the truth about it. The baby boy thing is real out there. It's real. When they come to Texas, they realize you have to come and work for something. Their social system out there, they just giving away things to people. You come to Texas, you have to work for something. They're not just giving you anything. So no wonder these people, they know this relax. When you live by the water, you relax. You just do just enough to get by just so you can go to the beach and hang out. And they knew that these people are like that, and they made these laws, and these people fell right into the snare. Gang banging is corny, and when I was in the street life, even though it was wrong, it was played out. The real gangsters and OGs in that time they wasn't really taking it that serious. People are still doing foolishness. And when I used to hear about it, I'm like, guys, gang banging is played out. When I seen the game coming out talking about he was a blood, I'm like, listen, are you serious? I was active, guys. I knew people from everywhere. It was total corny. So whatever they doing out there, these new gangs, corny cowards. Brung something up that had been gone. And fallen into the snare of the devil. It's time for you to come back to your God, Jacob. Come back to your God, Israel. There's so many traps for you. Right now is not the time for you to commit crime. You're walking in the wrong mindset, thinking that because we were captives as slaves that the world owes us something. No one owes us nothing. We owe our God something. I know that mindset. This is the white man's world. He ain't giving us nothing, so we got to take it. I know that mindset. I know Robin Hood. I used to say it. I had a rhyme. I was a little kid. I said, well, I'm going to be Robin Hood, Robin in the hood. Trying to go and give to the poor because a white man ain't going to help us. See? But it's not, let me tell you, the technology that they have right now and the new credit system that these people have, even with this insurance on the cars, you're not going to get away with anything. My mom told me she got a ticket one day. And it's a part of Texas where it must have some type of magnet or underground place or something. Let me tell you, because when she went in court, she said they played everything back that she was playing on the radio and whatever she said. So if she would have lied in court, it wouldn't have went well. But she said they played back everything very clearly. And in this area, every time you drive in this area, you have bad signal on your phone. Everybody does. The Sugarland area. Because Sugarland area used to be a place of slaves. And they had sugar cane. That's why they call it that. So she said they played back everything. And these cops over here are serious. So you don't want to speed in this area. So I don't care what you're listening to, what you're talking about. You got to know when you're driving in this area to be very wise. It's just what it is. So I'm telling you guys out there, my brothers and my sisters, my young brothers and sisters, while you still have a chance, clean up your mess, clean up your life. And while the Most High have given you grace, the rain is still raining on you, the sun is still shining on you. Listen, come and visit one of our churches. We have churches in California. But it's time to clean it up while you still have a little time, because what I'm about to show you, these people have set you guys up. And you don't really have to worry about what man can do to you. You really want to make sure your soul is saved. You think he has favoritism on you just because you're black? And a lot of our people now know that we're the children of God. Whether they know we're Hebrews or not, they know that blacks are the children of God. They know that. Kendrick Lamar is out there with his music. People are starting to know. They know. People in Oakland, that's why they wear their dreads. People in New Orleans, that's why they wear their dreads. And it's very similar in New Orleans a long time ago. If they didn't solve that crime in 24 hours, these people over there were just committing all types of murders. If they didn't solve that crime in 24 hours, guess what? They throw it out. So when they came to Houston with that mess, they thought that same law existed in Texas. They were getting thrown in jail. And I met people with triple murders, double murders. I couldn't tell none of them where I lived. I was just as hard as they was, but I'm like, listen, you got how many murders? Yeah, I'm definitely not going to tell you where I live. I don't care how cool you are. They thought that law existed over here, but let me tell you, they did the Katrina, and they moved these people with this mindset into all these different states who would kill you with a drop of a dime. And now they went into these other prisons thinking that that same law was just how it was in New Orleans. And there's dirty cops over there too, but I'm just saying. It's not like the people who are putting these laws out there are saints either. But we can't fall into their snares. Their job is to create sin so they win. The God's not going to have any favoritism over you just because you're a child of Israel, just because you come from Abraham, just because you're black and you think that you're owed something. You owe your God something because he sent his son down as a sacrifice for you. You owe him something. Yeah. Hey, yeah, they've done wrong to us, but our forefathers have done wrong. We have not showed to be better than them. So all the Israelites just waiting around like, yeah, somebody owes me something. Nobody owes you a damn thing. Excuse my language. You owe Christ your life. Okay? I think I want to go into let me see. Let me just go into one of these videos to show you before because they have this law out there called the 3 strikes. So I want to talk about that really quick, but I want to go into a video just to show you guys. Just an example. You've probably seen it already. Fair use for educational purposes only. We don't want to hear Obama speaking. 1 second. I got it for you guys. Don't worry. Fair use for educational purposes only.
Retail theft, it's becoming more and more common. Now a bill in the Capitol.
Let's back it up.
Violence in the workplace, like retail theft, it's becoming
This is 11 months ago, just so you know.
More common. Now a bill in the Capitol aims to curb that by requiring employees across the state to receive training and prohibit employers from making staff that are not security guards confront suspects.
Our political reporter Morgan Reiner joins us now. This bill has some strong opposition, doesn't it, Morgan?
Yes, opposition from the business community, cities and counties across the state, even school superintendents. They believe this bill will not actually do anything to prevent violence and will only add to their workload.
Stephanie Dendero is closing down her furnishing and home decor store in Stockton after 21 years of operating it.
5 to 10 times a day, people come in stealing, just taking what they want. The reactions to when you confront them is horrible. It becomes very fearful.
Samantha.
Now, I know some people might say, Elder, it seemed like you taking up for the white people, taking up for the Gentiles. Listen, by no means am I taking up for the people who have enslaved us. But what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Just because these people have enslaved us from our forefathers' sins does not mean that we have to go and do the same things that they do. Okay? Satan cannot cast out Satan, guys. You cannot render evil for evil. You must put fire out with water. They are on there like the victims, and when when the Karens cry for help, they're gonna send in a military for terrorists, for hoodlums, for gangsters. They've already given you the name for savages. They just seem like savages just coming in there. Guys, there's so many videos on the internet. It is so many, I cannot even play all of them for you. You can just go on the internet and type in theft in California. And it just looks horrible.
Webster has worked at Safeway for 21 years.
I saw a man stealing cheese and other items. I went to him per Albertson's shoplifter policy, which is to engage a suspected shoplifter and perform customer service, asking if he needed help. And the customer then pulled up his shirt to flash a gun.
Their stories echo across the state. It's why Webster testified on behalf.
So now these guys are pulling out weapons on people as if they have the right to steal. Like, you gonna let me steal. Clowns, fools. I don't feel sorry for any of these people either. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't feel sorry for them. More so because if they knew who we were, you know, what we were born for, why we were here. I more so pray that our God has mercy, that some of these people can be awakened. But after once or twice, this is what you want to do. And you're just going to have to learn the hard way like any of us.
Of Senate Bill 553, which Senator Steve Cortese authored.
Through articulated workplace violence prevention plans, data collection on workplace violence incidents, effective training, and expanding employee protections, SB 553 will help ensure accountability.
Right now, Lawya, which regulates workplace standards, only has violence guidelines in place for hospitals. Rob Mutry with the California Chamber of Commerce said this bill is taking those guidelines and applying it to businesses of all sizes across the state.
Hospitals tend to have 500, 1,000, 2,000 employees. And as most of us know, most businesses don't have that scale and can't do those things.
He hopes they'll wait for Lawya, which is in the process of creating guidelines for businesses. The bill will also require detailed records of all violent incidents.
We don't see this as preventing a situation where someone walks in with a gun and decides to do terrible things, right? This regulation is focused at a core level on training.
So if we're going to keep these laws, right, because they're saying that, you know, it's cops killing people, whatever, we may just need to bring out the military. Guess what? These people, they're diabolical in their plans. They're diabolical in their plans. So let me tell you, our people don't even think that there's even some type of consequences for their actions. They're going in there with these masks on. Let me tell you. And you know, every business may not have the same insurance as the other business. So this is at the same time is also sparking hate, nation against nation. Right? This is making our people look on the other side of the world like thieves, like robbers, like criminals, like unrighteous people. I'm gonna be honest. I can not that there's not any thieves when I was living in Egypt. But you can leave something outside and you can come back and get it the next day. And when I did see a thief, like one out of many, the whole neighborhood is going to chase him down. I mean, I heard some stories out there. I mean, let me tell you, I was living one day in one apartment and they said, yeah, I said, what's going on over there? Why is there screaming and stuff across the street? They said, his wife got caught in adultery and they're going to kill her, when they get home. And I said, you're joking. And he said, no, it's like it was just normal. And I said, whoa. So I realized on that side of the world, the laws of the Most High to a certain degree are still on that side of the world, guys. So when the Most High says he's going to bring us back under the law, a lot of the laws of the Most High, even though these people have other religions, are already over there still. A lot of some of the things, not that we're going to go back on everything, but a lot of those things are still over there. The structure of family, the structure of some basic principles of life, right?
Record keeping, those kind of background pieces. And though they're important and we should get them right, we don't see that as really preventing the kinds of tragedies we're seeing in the news.
Senator Cortese responded to the criticism that this legalizes shoplifting by not allowing regular employees to confront active shoplifters, saying some environments may in fact require security personnel.
Now, Morgan, as we just your story, I mean, this is a big issue. This is something we've reported on consistently. So what happens next with this bill? When can we see it actually possibly go into effect?
So it still has to go through another committee, and then it has to go to the full floor for a vote on the assembly side. And then if it passes the assembly, then it will go to the governor for a final approval.
Complicated rule, complicated process. Morgan Ryan report. Why do our
people think just because someone's done to us something that we need to go and do the same wrong. That's not what the kingdom of heaven is about. That's not what being the children of God is about. To whom much is given, guys, much is required. Right? Let's see what they're going to do. Right? Top California Democrats announced ballot measure targeting retail theft. Let's see what their answer is for this in the near future. Make sure I got the right link here. I'm sipping a little watermelon juice, guys, because out here it's very hot. You guys, with this climate change stuff, you got to be very careful out here in this heat. If you are in places where it's like over 100 degrees, just be very careful out there, guys. Make sure you are very hydrated. The Most High created summer fruit because the summer fruit in the Bible have electrolytes more than just water to keep you hydrated in summertime. So I keep a lot of watermelons in my house. You see me drinking this. When I go to the gym, I got this with BCAAs in it. So I'm getting amino acids and I'm getting electrolytes. So, be safe out there, okay? We're at apnews.com. Top California Democrats announced ballot measure targeting retail theft, okay? Let me see if I can highlight the certain parts. Top California Democrats want to advance legislation to crack down on retail theft, announcing they plan to send the measure to voters in November, despite a tough on crime initiative already backed by retailers and law enforcement. The lawmakers' plan, led by Governor Gavin Newsom, okay, same governor, seeks to put fewer people behind bars for stealing compared to the other plan. Newsom and lawmakers negotiate the plan behind closed doors over the weekend after failing to convince the coalition of law enforcement and business groups to drop their initiative. Both proposals would make shoplifting a felony for repeat offender. Now, start to pay attention to the people who thought they were just going to be able to just go in there and that this thing is just going to be like Candyland for them forever. They didn't consider, they didn't have the common sense. This is how you know people are just being overled by gluttony and lust. Stealing one time is wrong. But you would think, hey, man, I got me a little PlayStation, I got me a little TV. No, people are going back and forth over and over and over. They don't even consider that, hey, this might not be able to happen forever. There may be some type of consequences to this. They think this is okay. But let me tell you, the Most High is allowing our enemy to take you if you open yourself up to sin. Like he told Cain, sin lieth at the door. I am here to save the children, right, of Abel, of Seth, not the children of Cain, not the Canaanites, not the evil Hamites, the ones that's evil in the Hamites, not the generation of vipers, not the generation of thieves and robbers, criminals, pimps, and hustlers of why we got into this position in the first place. See? But as long as we call on a high, he gonna save us. You know how many of your family members you talk to try to tell them the truth, and they're like, yeah, and they agree with you about everything you're saying, but then they go and do all of this crazy stuff. But there is a price for it. They think that they're just favored by God, right? And they could just do wrong and nothing's going to happen to them. Let's check it out. Both proposals would make shoplifting a felony for repeat offenders and increase penalties for fentanyl-related drugs, related charges, But because that thing is big out there. This fentanyl thing right now is crazy. Let me tell you, right now, it's like we're in the hour of temptation. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you might want to be careful with this sin and playing with the Most High. So many snares the Most High have allowed the devil to lay out here for our people right now. You don't see what's going on? 2020, guys, Elder Rawchaa told you, he was showing you from all these doctors and scientists that, let me tell you, this HIV thing, that it will be so. A few months ago, they were saying places like what was it? Baltimore, Houston. I can't remember all the places. Some places on the East Coast, Philadelphia, were dealing with HIV. Where was it before 2020, guys? In Houston, 42,000 people with STDs. And you had one sister crying. I think she was a nurse or something like that. She was crying like, listen, she's like, I'm dealing with so many people who's coming in here with these, HIV, STDs online. She says so many people, no different than what was going on in 2020. Guys, do you know that there's time diseases in this shot, guys? It's just little by little, boom, 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 boom. This person has myocarditis. This person has this. This person has that. Listen, guys, it just keeps going on and on and on. We told people are out there sleeping around, kissing each other, and people are realizing, like, let me tell you, it must be something going on with the people to where they in their mind, they need to go get tested. Who needs to go get tested if they're not out there sleeping around? All of these people are going to get tested thinking it's just from sleeping around. No. And you can't tell these simple people anything on Instagram. You type in a comment and say, hey, it might be from something you put in your arm. People are looking at you like, no, it's from promiscuity. No, it's from that too. But our people are done out there. Totally blinded, guys. Totally blinded. The hour of temptation is upon us. The Most High is allowing all the snares of the devil to overtake those who, he said, hey, to those who want to sin, just let them sin. Those will be righteous. Those who want to sin, let them sin. You'll even have people who's in this, not knowing what this truly is, 1 foot in this, 1 foot out, thinking it's okay to sin. Right? And I'm not talking, hey, people have to transition and grow, but it's some things you might want to be careful about. Don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. You go out there, you kiss the wrong thing, you might get you a tranny. You might get you something with the serpent's poison in it. You might fall into one of these traps like these people are in California. It's so much things out there you can fall into. You have to, it's like the Most High is forcing the righteous to stay on that narrow path. You got to make sure your credit on point these days. You can't even just be like, oh, we don't care about credit. You can't be that way no more. You need to fix your credit, guys. You better fix your credit. If you don't got good personal credit, you better start working on that business credit, because they're pushing these credit systems in Asia and all that. I used to be the same person. I don't care about credit. I use cash. Cash is not going to be here anymore. Your whole profile, you can't get insurance. You don't got a good affordable insurance. You don't got good credit. You better get on your game. The Most High is forcing us to actually be holy representations of him in his image. He's forcing the righteous. That's why a righteous man should be like fine gold in his day. You had to go out your way and try to make sure you're doing what you need to do to be that. You young guys out there, you want to get you a little taste of something on the side? Go ahead and try if you want to. You're gonna have the Bojangles coming out the side of your arm. Huh? Yeah. Hey, you're going to be walking around like a straight zombie out this joint. Huh? You're going to be looking like some off Thriller. And unfortunately, I know some of you didn't did it. But guess what? You better go get you some ivermectin or something, because let me tell you, it's going to show itself one day or another on you. It's going to show itself. It's time for us to walk that narrow path and take it serious. And my sisters, pray to the Most High for a righteous husband, because it's going to be seven women to one man. It's getting real out here. Nobody's getting married. There's no successful marriages in Israel, period. I'm talking about outside of the truth. Where do you see people married at successfully? Where do you see it? Does it exist? Well, I know somebody. You had to say I know somebody. That's sad. It's getting bad out here. All right? The snare is out. The snares are out. I hear some people say, we don't care about credit. Don't care about credit and see. Since I came back here, I was not spending cash. One, I ain't trying to get robbed. But you can carry around some cash, but what I'm saying is it's just not going, everything is shifting. You have to pay attention to what's going on. You can't commit crimes, guys. These people are looking at everything. Everything is tracked. You hop in your car, on your phone, if you're using your phone as a navigation system or your car, it tells you got 30 minutes on the way home, and it puts the address in there. They're collecting algorithms and patterns on us all. See? They're collecting algorithms. Let me tell you, this AI is getting smarter by the millisecond. Only the Most High can protect you in these times, but how will He protect you? Only if you're righteous. He's not going to have favoritism on you just because you come from Abraham. Or just because you think you know an elder or a leader or something. No. And you can give all the gifts you want. You better give that gift of righteousness and obedience. Both proposals would make shoplifting a felony for repeat offenders and increase penalties for fentanyl-related charges, but the lawmakers' plan is narrower in scope. Under the retailer's plan, I want you to pay attention now, any prior theft-related convictions, even if they happened 3 years ago, 2021, 2022, 2023, we are in 2024. How precise are they ready to come and collect? Listen, look at this. Look at the specifications right here. Look at the specifications right here. Under the retailer's plan, any prior theft-related convictions, anything they've done before since they've made these laws, so they set the trap of the timing after 2020, and then now they're coming back to clean it up. Just the right time. Any prior theft-related convictions, even if they happened years ago, so not even just 3 years ago, even if they happened years ago, would count toward a 3-strike policy for increased sentences. Y'all know the 3-strike in California, 25 years to life. So while these people got you on camera stealing, they can't see your faces, but let me tell you, AI is very smart nowadays. They know where you done went. There's cameras everywhere. They know every time you came steal, even with the mask on. You ain't fooling nobody. You done wore the same Michael Jordan shoes. You're not fooling anybody. They didn't see your car. Let me tell you. Guys, the police can read your speed now while they're driving. They can read your license plate and tell if you got insurance. Let me tell you, it's so easy to get caught, guys. Lawmakers are also proposing harsher punishment for repeat thieves. You are talking about criminals in California who are coming back to continue to steal from these department stores over and over and over. It's the talk around the town. That's the normal thing to do. It's the normal thing to do. So they set these people up knowing they would come back and back and back. And what's the key word they're saying? Repeat. Harsher punishment for repeat thieves. But the convictions would have to happen within 3 years of each other. All of these people, not only if you committed crimes before, that's going to haunt you, but now those who actually, since this law was made in 2021, okay, whether it was, I don't know if it was made 2021 or 2020, but I think it was 2000. It's right here. Listen, is specifically saying 3 years. They made the law, and now they specifically telling you, if you stole since we made this law that you can go do it, we just set you up for a trap. Harsher punishment for repeat thieves, but the convictions would have to have happened within 3 years of each other. See? Prosecutors could aggregate the amount of all stolen goods within 3 years to charge harsher offenses on the Democrats' plan. Huh? State Senate President Pro Tem Mike McGuire said Monday, it's unfortunate and frustrating that lawmakers have to put a crime-focused measure on the ballot. He said the coalition district attorneys and business groups refused to work with the state leaders on a compromise. Why are we advancing this measure? Because I'm worried about the draconian measure that's been advancing by the DAs, McGuire said in an event. We need to be able to provide voters with a choice. Lawmakers will vote to advance the plan to deliver it to Newsom for his signature before deadline on Wednesday. They hope to place the measure as the first item on the ballot in November. With two competing measures on the ballot, the one with more votes will prevail. Republican lawmakers blasted Democrats' plan, calling it a shame to confuse voters. The coalition of businesses and law enforcement said lawmakers refused to provide them with written proposals, which ended in possibility for negotiation. There can be no reason for this other than to stifle any thoughtful debate and jam an inferior measure through legislature, the coalition said on statement Monday. Okay, well, I don't really want to get into all that. We'll keep it there. I got my main point across, that they are going to have harsher punishments for repeat criminals of theft. Guys, whether it's Democrats in office, whether it's Republicans, these people will not get away. They will not get away. I want to go into a few scriptures here. I'm going to go into a few scriptures here and get my notes. I want to go into 1 John 8 and 39. No, not 1 John, excuse me, John, St. John 8 and 39. 1 second here. I'm getting it for y'all. Gotta wake up. Hebrews thinking that they owed something just because they're Hebrews. Mad at the world. St. John 8 and 39. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. As a matter of fact, let's do it like this. Let's go to verse. Let's see. Let's go up. We want to go up. Verse 31. 8 and 31. Then said Yeshua to those. So those of you who may just be coming on, make sure you hit the like button. And if you hear us saying, instead of Jesus, Yeshua, it just means my Savior. Or Yeshua. Save. That's his name. Okay? He shall save. You got to join our Hebrew Bible Academy to get that lesson. Okay? Then said Yeshua to those Jews which believed on him, if you continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. See? This is how you know. Just because you're an Abramite, just because you come from Abraham, doesn't mean that God's going to have favor with you. Doesn't mean he's going to respect you. This is what a lot of Hebrews forget. Foul language. Hitting the strip clubs on the feast days. Disrespecting people. You know, just because you have some fringes on or a mitre on. Just because you have a head wrap on. Does that mean you can go around disrespecting people, committing sin? I thought you were law keepers. Right? Christians. I thought you were law keepers. Gangbangers. I hear you out there saying, it's about God. It's about God. God allows you to steal. God allows you to be a menace to your society. We have to be more people of our word. God is a man of his word. If we say his name, we have to try our best to be in his image. He sent his son down for us. That's his word. He kept his word. Right? Then said Yeshua to those Jews which believed on him, if you continue in my word, then are you my disciples. Indeed meaning in action, not in just mouth. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Why? Because you are following me indeed, and I'm going to open those doors to you. Okay? You've knocked, and I've answered, and I've opened. They answered him, we be Abraham's seed. We were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free? Yeshua answered them. So these were actual Hebrews, guys, who were arrogant, filled with self-centeredness. We come from Abraham. What are you talking about? Disrespecting their teacher, not knowing he came down to die for all of them so that they can be saved. Verily, verily. You know what verily means? It means truth. Modern day real talk, I say unto you. Let me tell you something real for a second. Whosoever committed sin is a servant of sin. I don't care who you think you know. I don't care how cool your mama is with the elder, your daddy. I don't care about none of that. You're no different than the Christian pastor's daughter who becomes a harlot out here, or the son who becomes a part of the rainbow gang. See? None of these things matter. I don't care if you're famous. None of these things matter. You will not become a respecter of persons because you're from Abraham. Because you have fringes on. We had fringes on and we still broke the law. We have to get it together and realize that, hey, yeah, none of us are perfect. All of us are going to fall and make mistakes. But you have some people out there who are just becoming purposeful sinners now. And it's our temptation. You have to be very careful and hold on to your crown. We just talked about it. Let no man steal your crown. Don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. Don't let unbelievers sidetrack you and take some away from you, right? And the servant abideth not in the house forever, but the son abideth forever. Let's jump down. I want to jump down to 39. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yeshua said unto them, if you were Abraham's children, so they still arguing with him, ye would do the works of Abraham. Abraham gave charity, very hospitable man, honorable man, hard-working man, great example. So if you want to claim the name of Abraham, you have to at least try to do the works of Abraham. Do you have it to give to somebody, or are you stealing? Abraham didn't steal nothing from anybody. They were still trying to steal from him. The Egyptians were trying to steal from him. They were trying to rob him and take his wife. See, but Abraham had faith in his God. That's why he was favored. You think you're favored just because you come from Abraham. That's the difference. You know, you still watching, what's these people named? Young Miami, reality TV show. You still trying to be like these heifers out here. Who know, let me tell you, no righteous man would marry none of these heifers, and that's what they are. You don't marry a heifer or a harlot. You marry a queen, a princess, a daughter of Zion. See? We can't call someone a queen or a king who's not that. They must do it indeed. And if you're looking up to these same people, you're still hanging in the world with these same thieves and robbers, criminals and pimps, without trying to actually shine your light upon their darkness to eventually wake them up. Let me tell you, their darkness will cover your light. So you got to be careful out there, guys. If you were Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham. But now you seek to kill me, a man that had told you the truth. What did Paul say? Have I become your enemy because I told you the truth? Which I have heard of the Most High. What I have heard of the Most High, Christ said. This did not Abraham. Abraham then tried to harm people because of the truth? How are you the seed of Abraham? So now you're worse off from the comment you just made. Ye do the deeds of your father. Then say that to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one Father, even God. So here they go, right? Let's jump down to verse 44. No, you know what? No, let's continue. Yeshua said unto them, he was checking them. He was checking these Negroites. He was checking them. Because they were so carnal and fleshly and thought that they could just do anything and be anybody and just be accepted just because they were Hebrews. My father's a Pharisee. My uncle's a judge. My wife's a leader. You can't tell me anything. Hey, guess what? Might not be able to tell you anything when I put my hands on somebody, but guess what? God himself is going to tell you. But when he tell you, it's lights out. That's what you don't understand. That goes for all of us. See? There's no partiality with the Most High. And like I said, I'm nowhere near shape or form perfect than anybody. But I know I walk this truth. And anybody who know me, I walk this truth. And I take it very serious. And I don't deal with no clowns. See? Don't deal with heifers. Don't deal with clowns. Don't deal with Jezebels. It's zero tolerance. And I'm older now. As I get older, it's obviously I add more patience. But it's certain things that you just don't deal with. What the Bible says, you just ignore that and just keep moving and keep dealing with the gospel. You have patience for those who are actually trying to get better and do better. And you have to have patience from, hey, you can't go around hitting people and put your hands on them. So you have to have patience with them. You have to pray for them. But it's certain things you know you're not going to deal with. Yeshua said unto them, if the Most High were your father, ye would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from the Most High, neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Look how humble Christ was. Why do you not understand my speech? They can't understand it. As we see now, we tell our friends, we tell our family, we tell our coworkers, we tell the people in the world. You get on Instagram and put a post, they will hunt you if you put a righteous post, to where you got to go ahead and delete your comment because you just keep getting notifications all day. People do not care anymore. Even because you cannot hear my word, ye are of your father the devil. Christ's sheep hears him, guys. They listen, they're obedient, they take counsel, they take wisdom, they take advice, and they follow it. And if they make a mistake, they have the counsel to fall back on. But those who just don't want to listen and think that just because they're a Hebrew a part of this truth, just because, and guess what? They got these people in the world who they hang with. This is not the homie thing, guys. This is like a serious thing that you're in. Your soul has been called to salvation, not to darkness. Okay, so you don't want to be one of those people when he comes back saying, hey, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. Iniquity, I know you're not. Right? So, let me see where I left off. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. That's why you can't hear me, he's saying. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. Period. That's why you don't understand me. Because something else is in you. Only a humble person can hear. Only a person with obedience and humility can hear. Pride will not allow a person to hear. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. See? And Christ didn't come down here because people were perfect. He calls them perfect even though they're not perfect. But these are obedient people going out their way to try their best in this war every day to live perfect through all their trials, throughout all their tribulations, all the obstacles they overcome. But you have some people who just taints the truth. So this lesson is to sharpen you up, whoever's around you. And hey, and let's just keep moving and keep building. But I'm not done yet. I want to go to give you a great example here in 1 Samuel chapter 2. Let me give you a great example here. We're going to jump down to verse 14, I think. No, to verse 12. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 12. We don't think, when I was a young man reading this Bible, this story, I read it again recently, but it totally inspired me to make sure when I was young that I kept my house in order. Because I said, never am I just going to be some leader and just my children be spoiled, and this happens to them of what we see here. Right? These were priests. So we're going to talk about the sons of Eli today. It's no different than your modern day pastors, leaders, celebrities who have authority in the earth, who can change their people. And then, not that the parent can control everything once a child is grown, but you better make sure you've done what you need to do while that child is in your house, so I can tell you that. And after that, you let them know, hey, you out of my house, whatever you do that I don't know about, don't have nothing to do with me. Between heaven and earth, I'm putting that out there. You can't say, oh, no, I'm this person's son. You do some crazy crap. That's on you. See? And that doesn't mean that obviously parents are not going to support their children in mistakes and downfalls. But after it gets constant, eventually you have to say, you know what? The Most High would want me to separate myself from your madness before he judges not only you, but me and my household too. Because you're only marked under your father as a daughter or son while you're under your father. Once you leave and get your own household, you got your own mark. That woman gets marked under her husband, and that man becomes a mark when he's baptized over his own household. The father can't suffer from the children's mistakes, and the children can't suffer from the father's mistakes. See? So when you go around thinking you can do something just because, and you got a lot of man pleasers out there who would just allow you to do whatever, that's on them. I'm not saying anybody should go around judging people, because people ain't perfect, right? Some people are learning. But we know when you see a person going in a strip club, it's like, come on, bro. I don't have to tell you nothing. Like, that's totally wrong. You know better. Like, come on, bro. Right? It's different between a person, hey, he might have had a little too much to drink. Maybe it was an accident. And you're like, oh my goodness. And you trying to, no, you can help a brother from that. But when you see a person just do something totally just wrong, you like, hold up, bro. This is totally off. I'm sorry. This is overboard. Not that anything else a person does is okay, but we know we're in captivity, we're all transitioning, but it's like, come on now. And I'm trying to be general here, because there's some things that's just like, come on, like you didn't even need a Bible to know this was wrong. Okay? So, keep your household in order as you read this Bible today. What we're talking about. Keep your household in order, guys. You might want to listen to what I'm trying to tell you right now. Let me see if this matcha tea can wake me up a little bit. Excuse me. It was a little hot. Now the sons of Eli were the sons of Belial. What are the sons of Belial? You already know, the sons of the devil. Evil men who followed the ways of unrighteousness. Okay? Eli was a priest, guys. Yeah. We're so happy that, oh, I'm from the tribe of Levi, this and that. Yeah, be happy and do right. To whom much is given, much is required. Or you're going to go down just like our forefathers. Okay? They knew not the Most High. They were spoiled little brats under their father. Clowns. And guess what? I'm just going to tell her how the Bible said. They knew not the Most High. You a fool if you don't know the Most High. Period. You are bound for hell. And the priest's custom with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servant came, while the flesh was in seething, meaning while the flesh was boiling or cooking, with a flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand, and he struck it into the pan, or kettle, or cauldron, or pot. All that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took it for himself. So they did in Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came thither. Also before they burnt the fat, the priest's servant came and said to the man that sacrificed, give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of thee, but raw. So they wanted to take the flesh raw. So I don't know how the vegans read the Bible here, but whatever. Because this is, the Levites was eating a lot of meat, guys, just so you know. But anyway, they wanted to take this flesh raw for themselves. So they're just going around bullying people. No different than these people we talking about just going in these stores bullying people for things that don't belong to them. Spoiled children of Belial. This will be the people in California today. I don't care if they know they're Jews or not. According to what we're reading, when we were in the world, we were all children of Belial. Lost. Yeah, we're found now. But guess what? When we did something, the Most High allowed us to go through it so that we can get closer to him. And I pray that these brothers and sisters out there gets closer to the Most High, because whatever judgment is going to come, it's not going to be an easy or good one. Some of these people can actually, because they've been repeated thieves, get 25 to life with this 3-strike law they got, as we were reading in California. So they purposely let them go back. Okay? But let's get back to the subject. Here goes some spoiled children that you can create. And I'm going to tell you, you shouldn't be doing no ministry if your children are out of order. Period. Because you can't control your household. That's what the Bible says. Straight up. If you arguing with your wife all over the place, is a bad example. If your children is not grounded with all gravity, like the scripture says, bad example. Are we following the Bible, or are we following another book? No favoritism here. See? Also, before they burnt the fat, the priest's servant came and said to the man that sacrificed, give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden flesh of thee, but raw. And if any man said unto him, let them not fail to burn the fat presently, and then take as much as thy soul desired. Then he would answer him, nay, or no, but you shall give it to me now. And if not, I will take it by force. Check it out. So Eli's sons were bullying the people for their sacrifice because of their leadership. Evil men of Belial. Wherefore the sin of the young men was very great before the Lord. For men abhorred the offering of the Most High. So men couldn't stand in this time to actually give their sacrifice to the Most High because of their unrighteousness. They became like these pimp pastors today, going around demanding, you understand, offerings when they're not going to do right by the Most High. When they're sleeping around with the men and the women and the boys and whoever else in the church, doing all types of evil. We've been seeing pastors getting caught for this stuff recently. When you get the position of a priest, of a father, of a mother, of a high position in the world, in the government, celebrity, you've been given something that most men and women can really ever get. Got to do right by it. And your children as well. All they have to know, if you bite the hand that feeds you, you got to go. Or I'm going to put you under punishment. Or I'm going to take this away from you. Whatever the case may be. But we had good men like Samuel who had to be born to come in when these people would leave out. So the Most High knew what he was doing. Got evil men that nobody knows what they're doing. They're stealing money. They're doing all types of evil just because they feel like, they know a few scriptures, or, they know this elder, that elder. Guess so I can do this to the people. Nobody's going to know. You have to fear the Most High first and foremost before any man. To think that you will steal from God and his people who work hard for their money, guys. Do you know how much work it takes to make $100 a day? 8 hours. Especially back in the days. Now, just let me tell you, that's nothing today, the way that this society is. People take your money, you working hard to pay your tithes to the Most High, and you got these pastors in these Christian churches just doing whatever. And sometimes, unfortunately, you have that even in the truth. What we call the truth. Right? But Samuel ministered before the Lord. So we're at 18. Being a child, girded with a linen ephod. Moreover, his mother made him a little coat and brought it to him from year to year. And when she came up with her husband to offer a yearly sacrifice, and Eli blessed Elkanah and his wife and said, "The Lord give the seed of this woman for the loan which is lent to the Most High." Let me see. I want to kind of okay. Samuel grew. Let's jump down to 22. Samuel grew. Let's jump down. I want to get to it. Now Eli was very old, and heard all that his sons did unto Israel, and how they lay with women. Not only did they take the sacrifices, they were fornicators. Don't we know pastors like that, who is taking men's wives, taking little, just sisters at will, just because they have a position, knowing that any woman would want to be with a leader, even if they want to try to follow God. They know it will be a temptation. Who wouldn't want to be with the leader? Right? Now Eli was very old, and heard all that his sons did unto Israel, and how they lay with the women that assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Look at that. Not one, not two, but many. And he said unto them, so now this is his time that he's trying to correct, but it's just words. The Most High, when men take things too far, and you just keep telling them things and not actually putting an action to it, it becomes an issue with our God. How long should you tell them something and they don't do it? When men take your words lightly, you have to make an example out of them. And that's shown in the wilderness. Joshua, when they were losing that war, the Most High showed that. The Most High showed it when he sent Christ down, when Miriam and Aaron started talking that crap. When he had to kill Aaron's sons for bringing the sacrifice. See, Christ, he made an example out of us. Every time he came down, somebody died. Now, we have grace in this time. So obviously we have to counsel our people, because our people don't even know what it's like to be a royal people at all. So you have to have grace with them. But it comes a time where when you're dealing with an Israelite or a Negroite or a Nebrulite. Huh? If you're dealing with a person who just really lacks the care and thinks that because they know they're Israel, that's enough. They have a talent or something, and guess what? That's enough for them. But let me tell you, these men were priests from the tribes of Levi. That meant nothing to the Most High. See? We got our people who are the chosen seed, don't know who they are, out here stealing, dealing, willing, killing. Right? Instead of building the kingdom of the Most High. It's time for you to come back to your God. We're giving you a great example right now of why the house has to be in order. And you can't even have favoritism for people who have talent, your children, anybody. We all have a job to do, and to whom much is given, much is required. So we all can tighten our household up a little bit. See, your teenagers get a little older, they need a little bit more certain rules. And if they want to feel like they grown, they have to be really grown. Show them what it was for you to work for all that you have. Because if you spoil them too much, you're going to see what happens. See? AJ Fuentes, I don't know what you're talking about, brother, but you might want to be careful. I don't know what you're talking about right now. All right? You don't come in here debating with me. I'm just letting you know. If that's what you're doing, you may not be doing it, but I'm letting you know. Be careful. Tread lightly. And he said unto them, why do ye such things? For I hear of your evil dealings by all this people. So he's trying to address it. Nay, my sons, for it is no good report that I hear. Ye make the Lord's people to transgress. So you're being bad examples, because I know there's other people who knew what they were doing, and that's making them think they can do it, and their friends is going to do it. And before you know it, all of Israel is starting to sin, because they like, nah, man, they sinning over there. They doing this, they doing that. The priest is doing it. Why we can't do it? And it just becomes a domino effect. See? That's why there's more punishments, stronger punishments in hell for the leaders. For examples. For people who are examples. And not only leaders, people who know better. You guys. You know better. You listen, you know better. Instead of you influencing someone in the world in a good way, and you take advantage of the truth you have and influence them in the wrong way, meaning you go and wake someone up, but they see your hypocrisy, you convert someone with hypocrisy. You convert a lukewarm person, which is not a real conversion. So I'm trying to hit all levels of this, showing you that there's no favoritism. We all have gotten this truth, and we all have to be an example with how we hold this torch. Because if you hold the torch the wrong way, sideways, you might burn up a lot of stuff. Okay? So, we are at verse 25. If one man sin against another, the judge shall judge him. But if a man sin against the Lord, who shall entreat for him? Notwithstanding, they hearken not unto the voice of their father, because the Lord would slay them. See? So they did not listen to their father, but their father, he really should have did a little bit more to them. The talk wasn't enough for the Most High. By this point, it's like, brother, the talking ain't finna do it. I need you to make example out of your own sons. Take them down from the priesthood. They shall be no more priest. Strip them like Aaron's son was stripped. Strip them from what they have. They're still your sons, but it needs to be some type of greater punishment. Because if you don't, we're gonna see why. So, one second. And the child Samuel grew on and was in favor both with the Lord and also with men. So now you got a good man coming through, a good priest, who was born to do a better job than these guys. And there came, because don't forget, Samuel was working under Eli. Samuel was working under Eli and had heard the voice of the Most High and thought it was Eli. So you'll have some person who's younger than you, doing right? And you doing wrong, and that person may not know you're doing wrong, and the Most High might exalt them over you. So you guys have to be careful when the Most High gives you a position. Right? So we all can get caught up, because knowledge puffeth up. Okay? We all can get caught up. Knowledge puffeth up. And there came a man of the Most High, because it's going to be in the wilderness a lot of leaders eventually, I'm sure. So we all have to not get caught up in the fleshly, vain part of this thing. We're just hired servants, hired shepherds of Christ. Right? And there came a man of God unto Eli and said unto him, This saith the Lord, Did I plainly appear unto the house of your father when they were in Egypt in Pharaoh's house? And did I choose him out of all the tribes of Israel to be my priest, to offer upon my altar, to burn incense, to wear an ephod before me? So now you're getting checked. I tried to tell y'all. Y'all thought when y'all just read it that his talk was good enough. You got to show some action as a man. You know all the things your son did, and all you can do is talk to them? Now, he was old, man. But he was in a position to take them out of that position. See? Yeah. And if he was too old, hey, he got to get some more elders to help him. And you know, because everybody knew what was going on. Embarrassing the congregation of the Most High. And did I give unto the house of your father all the offerings made by the fire to the children of Israel? Wherefore kick you at my sacrifice and at my offering, which I have commanded in my habitation, and honorest thy sons above me, to make yourselves fat with the chiefest of all the offerings of Israel, my people. So now the father has to suffer because he didn't check his own sons. You can't have people under you sinning, around you, your friends sinning, to the point to where it's like, okay, you made a mistake. I know you're stumbling and making some mistakes, and we all fall. But once this thing is getting too crazy, nah. It's not only falling, you seem to have a real issue here. And that's making us look bad, and it could cost the church, it can cost our family, whatever. Obviously, I'm generalizing, but this is what this can cause, and the Most High gets angry. Nothing bad lasts forever, guys. It will eventually come to fruition some type of way. The Holy Spirit will bring it to fruition, guys, for us all. So let us just take it as a learning lesson. I'm not saying anybody did nothing wrong, but I'm looking at our people out there, and we're growing. We're doing very good as a church. But let us stay tight. Let us stay tight. Okay? Because the Most High is going to bless us. Felicia Henry, he had to suffer for his sons. No, my sister. He's suffering because he was soft on them. I know y'all like, well, I thought you just said he ain't had the sons don't suffer for. Listen, you can't be no leader soft on somebody you know disturbing the tabernacle of the Most High. Messing up the sacrifices just because they priest. It don't work like that. The Most High is, he allows grace for a while to see if you're going to fix the situation. But after a time, you got to shut certain things down. The Most High is not no talker. Okay? Wherefore the Lord God of Israel saith, I saith indeed that thy house and thy house of thy father should walk before me forever. But, there's a but from the Most High right here. But now the Lord saith, be it far from me. For them that honor me, I will honor. Meaning those who follow me and respect me of what I tell them to do. Yeah, they don't got to be perfect, but they'll get up from their mistakes and do right. But if you purposely sin and you do evil and you still attach yourself to me and you making me look bad, that's an issue. And guess what? He's telling him that to his own sons. Just like I tell the sisters, my baby. And then, hey, the same thing goes for the men. Right now, this is a man, we're talking about a priest. Your sons, just like he checked Aaron's sons and killed Aaron's sons. Period. Okay? I'm hard on my son from the beginning. As soon as he came out, I had this story in my mind right here. Period. I had this story in my mind right here. Don't call him cute too much. None of that matters right now. Bow his head while he's young so you can enjoy him later. But now, the Lord said, be it far from me. For them that honor me, I will honor. And they that despise me shall be lightly esteemed. This is your God here. This is your God. This is Christ right here. Hey, comes in a volume of the book. Hey, it is what it is. You're not going to make the Most High look bad or his son, especially in front of his people. Behold, the days come that I will cut off thine arm. Thine arm is your strength, what you hold your sword in. And usually it was a man's right arm in the time. Some people are left-handed, but he's just talking about whatever arm you are, that's your strength. I will cut off your arm, meaning the strength of a household or a lineage is the man. And the arm of thy father's house, that there should not be an old man in thine house. So all your children, just like today in the ghettos, would you see these people out here stealing, killing, dealing, willing, whatever they want to call it, they dying young. This happened in the Bible, guys. His household got cursed with the men of his family to die young. There shall not be an old man in your house forever. All your children who come from your lineage, even if they are modern day, they shall die young. See? And the man of thine, whom I shall not cut off from mine altar, shall be to consume thine eyes, to grieve thine heart. And all the increase of your house shall die in the flower of their age. So it ain't just the good die young. Sometimes some people have done something from the past, from some things that happened to them. Okay? Now, I don't know his lineage specifically to see who his specific lineage is, if they're still around. I'm not going to get that deep in it, but I'm saying however long his specific lineage was, this is what the Most High said. Okay? One of the sons of Levi. And this shall be a sign unto thee, that shall come upon your two sons, on Hophni and Phinehas. Okay? In one day they shall die, both of them, and I will raise me up a faithful priest. Not some bullies who thought they was hard and going, because guess what? The people have to be afraid of you. You must look crucial. People ain't just afraid of just anybody. You doing something where you're in a position of power or you got some size. It's something that you're doing where people are afraid of you because they can't do nothing back. And the Most High won't have it. I will raise me up a faithful priest that shall do according to that which is in mine heart or my mind and in my mind. And I will build him a sure house, and he shall walk before mine anointed forever. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left in thine house shall come and crouch to him for a piece of silver and a morsel of bread. Most High don't care about just because you know Israelite, guys. If you don't do right in his sight. I know David said, I never seen the righteous begging for bread, but these are evil men, and their seed will get cursed. That's how the Most High works. And I'm not saying this like, yeah. I'm saying this is what happens if any of us may do these things. Put me, I pray thee, into one of the priest's offices that I may eat a piece of bread. So now they had to actually beg for money and become in poverty, guys. Okay? I'm not done. One second. I'm almost done, but I'm not done. I want to go to chapter 4 really quick, I think. Yeah. I'm going to go chapter 4. 1 Samuel chapter 4. And the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now Israel went out against the Philistines. Yeah, these Palestinians modern day, that's who they were, the Philistines. Okay, you can find their name in the Bible, Philistines with the M, or Philistines, your modern day Palestinians. Okay? when they realize why our people are not so excited about them because of what they're going through in Israel. No one's excited about us over here. We don't want anybody to die. But I just thought I'd put that out there really quick in case one of you are watching. All lives matter, but do our lives matter? When we going through something, that's what we're talking about, but I digress. Israel went out against the Philistines, and this time it was actually our people against, the Philistines at that time. Obviously, they've mixed a little bit, but all right. Now it's the modern day Romans against the Palestinians. Okay. And pitched beside Ebenezer, and the Philistines pitched in Aphek, and the Philistines put themselves in array against Israel. And when they joined battle, Israel was smitten before the Philistines. And they slew of the army in the field about 4,000 men. And when the people were coming to the camp, the elders of Israel said, "Wherefore had the Lord smitten us before the Philistines? Let us fetch the ark of the covenant out of Shiloh unto us, that when it cometh among us, it may save us out of the hands of our enemies." So we had an instrument called the Ark of the Covenant, and we go into it in our Hebrew and Bible Academy into more detail, but it will be able to do what their modern day harp does. Whether we need the angels to come and fight for us and help us, whatever type of way that needed to be done, whether we needed some type of weather situation to happen, the ark could do all of it, okay? So the people sent to Shiloh that they might bring from thence the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth between the cherubims. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. Now check it out. Not only were Eli sons, Hophni and Phinehas, just priests, guess where they were? There with the ark of the covenant of God. The Bible says, "The greater thou art, the more humble thou shalt be." The greater thou art, the more humble thou shalt be. That doesn't mean you got to walk around talking like a little mouse. That's not what it's talking about. People have different character. Men are men. But it's just saying you really have to be a true humble person indeed, okay? People can tell the difference. You understand? People can tell the difference. Obviously, these guys were nowhere near humble, coming around, humbling the people, deboing them, bullying them, right? Verse 5 says, "And when the ark of the covenant of the Lord came into the camp, all Israel shouted with a great shout, so that the earth rang again. And when the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, they said, What meaneth the noise of this great shout in the camp of the Hebrews? And they understood that the ark of the Lord was come up into the camp. And the Philistines were afraid, for they said, The Most High is come into the camp. And they said, Woe unto us. So the other enemies knew, when that ark comes, the Most High is coming to help these guys. For there had not been such a thing heretofore. Woe unto us. Who shall deliver us out of the hand of these mighty powers? Okay? Because he was sending angels to come and help us. That's why it says gods. These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness. Be strong and quit yourselves like men, O ye Philistines, that ye be not servants unto the Hebrews as they have been to you. Quit yourselves like men and fight. Now, I know it says quit, but that's the terminology in that time. And the Philistines fought, and Israel was smitten. So, although we had the ark of the Most High, why were we defeated? You got some Hebrews like this today, man. I got my wrap, I got fringes right here. I'm dripping in fringes everywhere. But straight sinner, disobedient to his elders, thinks he knows more than his elders because he's reading the Bible. out there on the side trying to be famous just because he has talent. Acting humble, but not really humble. Hearing the elder say this, but doing this. Opposite. See? You have these men still to this day. This is the reality of it, guys. And you know, we don't worry about it. Listen, time will show and prove who is who. Can't even really worry about it. Okay? The clown's makeup will eventually come off. You're going to see who the real Joker is eventually. You will. So sisters, don't be simple as a day's old. But guess what? You know what? If you're going to be, you were meant to be simple as a day's old. Whoever is going to be, whoever they was going to be. It's just what it is. It is what it is. Don't come trying to call, can you save me from this person? You shouldn't have been hasty to give credit and open a pack of scissors. Oh, I just love this song. He's just so cute. I just saw his fringes and, you know, that's what you get. You should have learned that in the world. You didn't came in here and fell for Pan again. Pan start playing the flute. Let me tell you, just because a person can make the most songs don't mean they are the best. You better hope they ain't making a mess. See? Straight up. Who can be obedient? And I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm generalizing. This is just a lesson for us all to know. Okay? I'm trying to we're in a time of trouble and you got sisters mad because they feel like they done married the wrong man. Listen, I'm not getting into all that. It's time for you to get in that Bible, ask counsel from your elders or people, men who's over you for counsel before you do things. It's not time to keep coming back later and talking about, oh, he's not. Listen, don't forget what I told you, women. You do not know how to choose men. That's just not your talent. It's just not. And that does not make you bad. It wasn't meant to be that way. Men would work hard and go to get the woman that they wanted to make sure she was going to be a good help meet for him. That's it. It's just very simple. It doesn't mean about you're bad and you're wrong. Society have taught you the wrong way. Us all. That's all I'm saying. All right. Let's continue. So the Philistines, they saw the ark, but they like, listen, we gonna die like men if we gonna die. So Palestinians, I want you to know out there, you got a one up on us at that time, but only because we sinned. Just like today, only because our people are sinning, do you have power over us? Make no mention, don't get in your mind, that you will have power over the saints now, though, that are righteous. Unfortunately, we will lose a lot of our people. But you will not be able to, any of you nations, to overtake the righteous. So that's why I'm putting this lesson out there. They're like, hey, he's not going to have favoritism over us just because we found out we're Hebrews. Just because we've gotten to some positions or we got relatives. Listen, none of that means anything. You can form some evil cult no different than Eli and his sons did. And be, ruling the people the wrong way. But it's always going to come to fruition if any of us does it. That's why I always keep the stance, I'm just a servant. There's some things that as a leader I cannot tolerate or let go according to scriptures, obviously, but I'm still just a servant, guys. Just a servant. I didn't ask. I didn't try to go out my way to be a leader. I stepped up to the gospel and I was serious about it. And hey, this is what I'm doing today. Okay? So I ran from a lot of stuff if you want to be quite honest. Elder Rawchaa knows. I would tell Elder Rawchaa no for years. And not because of cockiness. Anything I do, I'm serious about it, and I don't want to just. I seen so many guys come and go who just get the Bible and they're like, yeah, check this out. Yeah, check this out right here. Yeah, you see this right here? I just like, you know what? I'm just stay behind the scenes. I want to last. I don't want to move too fast and not last. I'm just, it's what it is. Philistines fought and Israel was smitten, and they fled every man to his tent. And there was a very great slaughter, for they fell of Israel 30,000 footmen, because of these men's sin. Once again, here we go again. Just like the time of Joshua. Why is Israel being slaughtered? See? We're a body. And the ark of the covenant was taken, and 2 sons of Eli and Hophni and Phinehas were slain. Who do you think some of these men were? Most High is a righteous judge. A lot of these men knew what Eli and Hophni and Phinehas was, and they probably were their servants of sin with them. I'm sure the men who were still living had nothing to do with it, but I'm sure a lot of these men who died knew what was going on with these guys. Most High is righteous. He ain't killing you just because you didn't do nothing wrong. See? So, verse 12. So these brothers were slain through their wickedness. And there ran a man of Benjamin out of the army, and Shiloh, the same day with his clothes rent, and with earth upon his head. And when he came, lo, Eli sat upon a seat by the wayside, watching, for his heart trembled. So his mind trembled for the ark of the Most High, when he found out that it was taken. And when the man came into the city and told it, all the city cried out. And when Eli heard the noise of the crying, he said, what meaneth the noise of this tumult? And the man came hastily and told Eli. Now Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were dim. So he was an old man. Once again, he was old, but he still had the commands to command to take down his sons from their position that he could not see. And the man said unto Eli, I am he that came out of the army and fled today out of the army. And he said, what is there done, my son? And the messenger answered and said, Israel is fled before the Philistines, and there had been also great slaughter among the people, and thy 2 sons also. Hophni and Phinehas are dead, and the ark of God is taken. And it came to pass, when he made mention of the ark of the Most High, that he fell from off the seat backward by the side of the gate, and his neck brake, and he died. For he was an old man heavy, and he had judged Israel 40 years. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, the Most High, you better have that house in order. It's scary sometimes when you have to put your children in things, because you're like, man, I pray everything I taught them that they're going to do. That's what you pray. See? I want to go to, just really quick, I'm about to end it out here. Where do I want to go here? Ecclesiasticus 30:1. Ecclesiasticus 30:1. This is no knock on anybody. This is, we have to just realize that being an Israelite is a little bit more than we thought. It's not about who can be the most righteous. In fact, it's about, going out our way for others, being humility, having charity. It's not a righteous contest because we're not being saved for only our righteousness. But simultaneously, we don't go out our way to purposely commit unrighteousness, right? So I didn't bring this out tonight to say you need to be righteous and you need to be following the law like Pharisees. No, you wouldn't understand the message tonight if you are thinking that. Our God called us knowing that we would not know everything. There's sins that we commit unknowingly, even wearing the wrong garments that we're sinning. So I'm never going to be the person preaching that part. But what I'm saying is when you willfully sin, or you think that you can do things because you've become in a high position, or you know this person or that person, no. I'm trying to tell you and save you from damnation. When you do know people who are in high status, when you are children to great men or women, the more humble you should be, knowing that you have to represent them, right? And if you are under a leader that's a good leader, you should represent that leader. And they're going to know that's the flock of this elder. That's the flock of that deacon. That's the flock of that officer. They represent that leader. You are the sheep under that leader, guys. That's just what it is. It's so many levels to it. Discipline of children, right here. We are in Ecclesiasticus chapter 30. Let me make sure I got the right version here. Oh Lord, I got all these. I just want the basic old. One second, the basic old. One second, guys. The basic old King James version. One second. There we go. I got it. I'm back. That was another type of version. It was KJV, American, all that. I'm like, yeah, we good on that. Okay. Ecclesiasticus chapter 30:1 says, "He that loveth his son causing him often to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end." So when you have a young son or daughter, if you love them, the Bible is saying, hey, you correct them often. Because obviously we've been in the stores and seen children on like little stretch bands to hang by them because their behavior is bad. They're talking to the children are talking back. The children are very disobedient, uncontrollable. Yeah, things like that. So, and we're not talking about children who may be autistic, are dealing with things like that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about actual children who have the wherewithal, obviously, to be able to listen to their parents. But the parents have made up in their mind, I didn't like when my parents whipped me, so I'm not going to whip my children. Hey, that's on you. But I'm telling you right now, I don't care who you are. I'm telling you right now, that's not the Bible. Do what you want in your own house. But according to scriptures, they will always fear to be well. Okay? I'm just telling you. So if you can do it without whipping, hey, praise the Most High. But you better make sure that they're doing what these scriptures says here, not going around treating the people of God rude. Because I remember when I first came into this, boy, for some reason, and guess what? And I love everybody, but I don't know if it's trained like this, but for some reason, people up north and people from the East Coast thought that people from the South are soft just because we're humble. Let me tell you, rude people, very rude. But I just stayed humble and quiet, and I watched a lot of them fall off, thinking that that's something that they can do. Seeing some of them try to disrespect some people and get checked on a high level. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put it out there, but we have this thing where back in slavery, people go up north and East Coast and they're better, and the people from the South just like, man, listen, don't ever get that stupidity in your mind. Don't ever get that stupidity in your mind. Because when I first came in, there's a lot of rude people. But I'm like, listen, one, I know a lot of people wasn't built like that. But being that I was a guy from the streets and I done been to war, guns, knives, all that. And I'm just quiet, like, listen, I came in here for Christ. I'm not going to show some worldly man, but don't get it twisted. So you can't teach your children just because they're Israelites and you may have a high position, whoever you are, it don't matter who you are. They could just come in here and just be rude. Listen, that's not the Bible. It's not the Bible at all. We didn't come into the world to treat each other disrespectful. You have to have honor, or you dealing with peasantry. You dealing with peasantry or niggotry. Straight up. So don't forget that they put all of us against each other with the north side, the south side, the east side, the west side, blue, red. And some people fell for that even in the truth. You got sisters who's going against other sisters. Like, listen, oh, you must be from, you must be mixed with white because your hair is long. Because their hair is not long as this sister. You don't know if this is the Indian tribe. You don't know if she's Benjamin. Benjamin don't even got to be mixed with nobody to have nice long hair. And some Judah's hair is maybe just made to be dreaded to grow long. Everybody's different. People just falling into all of these weird Edomite separations. A bunch of just slavery. It don't matter where you're from. That does not make you better. Because you from the south, the east, the west, the north. We have all been in this captivity and these curses, guys. I never could understand this thing, this part of it. You just because you from there, so that makes you better, right? We all went through the same curses, right? And when you smack somebody upside the head, then now, oh, I didn't mean it like that. Come on, man. Why it gotta be like that? Why does it even have to be like that? That we bring these worldly things into the truth. You're favored because you were born a slave. You were born in the same captivity as me and everybody else. You were not born in Israel on a throne. You're the same Negro like me and everybody else. All right? And guess what? I don't treat people disrespectful. I treat people straight. Just because I don't know you, I'm not going to treat you disrespectful. You listen, and I'm not going to give nobody no attitude. Now, if you come with some foolishness or something crazy, obviously, then, you got to, the Bible says to ignore foolish things, but it still can be done in a reasonable, respectful manner, as long as a person don't push like anybody would have to tell them, like, hey, with all due respect, please, just whatever, right? But let's get back to this. All right, I know I digress for a second, but we have to understand, don't teach your children to be opposite according to what we're reading here, because you're reading from maybe the Egyptian Book of the Dead, spoiled Egyptians, because they used to run around calling my children bad words and things like this, and I'm a different breed, though. I must come from Nehemiah. I don't know. I'm a little different breed than everybody else, because I'm going to tell you right now, I ain't bragging about nothing, but sometime I had to go somewhere in a taxi, but I made it my business, knowing I knew this little kid from somewhere. When I got back home, I went to knock on that door. I'm about to come see you. I went to see everybody I needed to see. You want to throw food down my window? And I told you, please stop doing it. Yeah, ask Malak. We took that broomstick. Because, you ain't got no guns in Egypt. We took that broomstick. Boom, boom, boom. I told you, I done told the doorman, I done told security, police officers. Yeah, you keep dropping these leftovers on my window. I told you stop doing that. I told you, these your children? Your children will not say the F word or call my children the B word. Ain't you Muslim? They will not do it again. Or I might have to take my belt off and whip your children. I have a problem with that. Your children is not going to do certain things to me in the grocery store. I used to pull my belt off and say, do I need to whip your children? It's certain things that I'm just not going to tolerate. It's just what it is. There's some things that, you're going to know a lot of things, but I'm going to let you know some things right now, the line is drawn. The line is drawn. They used to pull out AK-47s on us, the Army and all of that. And I used to be like, sir, I am not scared. I am American. Don't need to call the American embassy. It's not about being tough, but it's just certain things like you're not scaring nobody. Some people plays off of this intimidation thing. Well, when you've been through what our people been through, that ain't working. Yeah, a few taxi drivers, I had to fix their clothes up a little bit. And guess what? You know the crazy part about it? I tipped them and I said, you know what, Father, I'm going to tip them money I've saved that they don't even deserve. Because what I'm about to do, I don't know if you're gonna punish me for what I'm about to do, but I'm gonna tell you right now, he had to get some new pants. His pants got wet like he went swimming. Let me tell you right now, boy. You can't just go around messing with people just because you're an Israelite, just because you're in a high position, just because you have a good job, just because you have talent. Don't be some spoiled brat and raise spoiled brats. Okay? He that chasteneth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance. Now, I can't tell you everything on here, but one day we in the wilderness, you can have a lot of laughter. Cause I thought my patience was there with the Egyptians, and sometimes it wasn't there yet. I guess God gave us a little practice with them while we was out there. I don't know, but they will do it to you. Lord have mercy. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. See? So if you teach your son, you shall grieve the enemy. And before his friends, he shall rejoice of him. So, man, you just like your dad. You was a good young man. You just like your mama. You was a good daughter. She raised you well. And let me tell you, I got good Egyptian friends too. I'm not saying all Egyptians is bad. Very few of them is good and like us. But there's some good ones out there too. But there's a lot of them that just, unfortunately. Anyway, verse 4. Though his father died, yet he is as though he were not dead. For he had left one behind him that is like unto himself. While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful. He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, just like Solomon with David. Solomon, let me tell you, was destroying all David's enemies. And he cleared things up so he can have a peaceful reign for his father. And one that shall requite kindness to his friends. He that maketh too much of his son. Oh yeah, you know, I'm having me a son. Yeah, he gonna be a Nazarite. Yeah, yeah, he gonna be the next Samson. There does not need to be a next Samson. There was already a Samson. He needs to be the next whoever he's going to be. Okay. Yeah. You only been in the truth 1 year. He gonna be a Nazarite. You don't even know what a Nazarite is. You don't even know what it takes to actually serve yet, and you're taking on all of these vows. I used to tell a lot of people that stop taking on all these vows, because guess what? You take on these vows, you better make sure you can keep your word and the covenant with the Most High. Because if you let me tell you, if you break a fast, it's a punishment for that. You break some of these things, it's punishments for that. Sometimes our people get there, they want to name their son and daughter the most righteous name. Nothing wrong with that. But don't think just because you named them that they're going to be that. You have to put the work in with this kid. Yeah. Yeah. In your mind, your son is going to be, you just creating some image in your mind. Listen, you don't know what the will of your child is going to be. Just make sure they're righteous. You thinking your children better than people? No, they're not. Mine is not either. I want them to be the best what the Most High called them to be. I don't need them to be better than yours. They just need to be the best they can be. We're all on the same team here. Okay? Straight up. So you can dress them as the best Hebrew in the world. That does not mean they're finna be Joshua. You can put it in all caps on the name. They have their own will the Most High is going to want for them to have. They can have 1,000 fringes. I mean, it don't matter. You have to put the work in and make sure your household is in order. You think just because you put some name on somebody, that don't mean nothing. You got to teach honor. You got to teach respect. You got to put that belt on their behind. You got to put discipline. See? To whom much is given, much is required. When you see Isaac and Jacob, they had to go off to forefathers to learn. Just like people go off to the army, our forefathers went to the elders to learn this Bible. The firstborn was dedicated to the temple to serve. He couldn't have no clowns in there and no disrespectful people, bullies like Eli's sons. Okay? And guys, I mean, oh my goodness. I'll leave it there. Let's go to verse 8. A horse not broken becometh headstrong, and a child left to himself will be willful. Okay? Conquer thy child, or spoil thy child, and he shall make thee afraid, and play with him, he will bring thee to heaviness. He gonna stress you out. And let me tell you, if you are a strong, hardworking man and you don't push your son to be the same thing, now you can't control everything your children do, because children grow up and sometimes they choose to do something different. But you got to make sure you did what you were supposed to do as much as you can. You can't force him when he's a certain age. You just pray. But when they're under your control, under your household, as long as they want to abide under there, they need to do what they're supposed to do. All right? Laugh not with him, lest thou sorrow with him. Don't play with him like he's your friend. You can have good times with your son, go fishing, do all of that. But if he can talk back like he think he can put the hands on you and you just spoil him, giving him everything, he will become over you. But the Bible says don't give your children power over you. You didn't read that in the scriptures? That's what we tell young men. Just because you work perfectly hard and you're doing everything right don't mean certain doors is going to be open for you right away. You still have to go through life experience for the Most High to open certain doors. You could have did everything right, like the rich man that came up to Christ. It's certainly experience sometimes the Most High wants us to go through. Sometimes he wants us to go through obstacles to see, do we really want what we're praying for? We get frustrated at older men. I did everything way before he did, and I still don't got what he got. Because you don't know that it takes time to build or how to build. You could have did everything perfectly more than this older man. But you don't understand that it's not about how good you are at something. Sometimes things are just about the principles of life. And for Jacob to get things, there's certain doors that's not going to get open unless you understand life. You could be smart as all want to be. You could have got all A's, everything perfect. Some doors will not open until you're a certain age. I'm just telling you the truth. You could have did everything perfect. Better than all the older men who made their mistakes. Because the Most High saw in history when he had brung up proud men who just continue to fall. See? So you don't need to get frustrated about that. You just need to continue to be patient to possess your soul, to possess everything that the Most High will allow you to have. I had to learn that. I was young before. I had to learn that too. I'm like, man, I'm doing everything right. And it's not. Sometimes he's holding you back from yourself. You can get certain things at a certain time and fall off and sin and make mistakes or do the wrong thing with it. Straight up. I'm telling you what I know. I've sat back, looked at the world, looked at great men. I've seen young men have perfect college education, all that, and they still will not they'll be successful, but it's still it's like the Most High just don't open that door until they go through certain things. Now the wicked, they can get it because guess what? He's allowing the wicked to just have everything because guess what? They're serving other gods. They're going to hell anyway. See? Laugh not with him, lest thou have sorrow with him, and lest thou gnash thy teeth in the end. And it's not that older men don't want younger men to be better, but sometimes younger men don't understand that. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, and guess what? You know what you're talking about, but life experience still has to happen. It's like having a boxing match. You have an older boxer who have straight experience. Young guy, energy, stronger than the older man, but for some reason, the older guy still wins the fight. Experience, wisdom, pacing. Sometimes it's not all about how much strength you have. You don't have to use just pure strength in everything. See, a old man have seen all the hidden punches that you think you didn't made up. He know what you gonna come with. It's just like in his truth. Elder Rawchaa, a lot of times he know what a man gonna say before he says it. And I didn't know I was gonna get of age and know already what a person is going to say before they say it. Because after you deal with thousands of counsels, thousands of people's scriptures over and over, you already know where a person is going. You start to read souls and spirits instead of just people. Right? Give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies. Don't give him too much freedom, even though you know he done everything right. Don't just, you know you're proud of him, but if you give him too much freedom, sometimes they don't know what to do with it. Like, listen, I'm gonna give you a better allowance, or, this is going to be cheaper. And guess what? And then it's like, you can tell if they appreciate it or not, if they've learned from it, how they do. And if they learn it, you slowly increase. But if not, then the last thing you want to do is have them just wasting away hard-earned money of what it takes to get that. This is how this thing works, guys. This is how this thing works. Bow down his neck while he's young, and beat him on the sides while he is a child, lest he wax stubborn and disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow to thine heart. Because you did not teach your children. Even this goes for daughters too. Because you didn't teach your children, they're talking back, they're disrespecting you, they're dishonoring you. Check it out. Chastise thy son and hold him to labor. Don't let him just be free, even though he can be a good, respectful person. Put them to work so they can understand life. Or if you don't do that, the Most High may not bless them as soon as possible, because it's certain things they still don't get. Women won't respect them. Yeah, you can be a great man and have a son, but because you spoiled him, when it's time for him to get married, a woman will not respect him because she's looking for him to be like you as a father, but he's actually lazy because you spoiled him. Or you thought he was getting the lessons you was teaching, but he was really playing around. So sometimes you got to put him to the test to see. Let me go see, can you do this, what I taught you? See? Let me tell you, I'm straight with my son, and let me tell you, young, I'm like, listen, you ain't gonna be no clown, no punk around here, period. You bet, let me tell you, you're gonna have honor, hard working, and I don't need to tell you everything you need to do. So my little son, he go around, sweep, hey, open the door, let me tell you, all my daughter, my little babies, I take my shoes off. 2-year-old, she bringing the shoes. All my children been raised like this from small. I didn't tell them to bring the shoes, but because they see how I'm moving and how the rest of the children are moving, they already get it. That's how you have a house in order. The other children will fall right in line. They all know how to cook from young. I don't need to tell them how to cook an egg. Straight up. I need to tell them how to wash the dishes. They dealing with the goats. They go deal with the chickens. Hey, listen. What's going on in the grade school? You can have the most sharpest mind and speak so eloquently, but guess what? You don't know the basic necessities of life. Right? You like, yeah, in calculus, I learned 10 times this, XZ to this and that. Let me tell you, and you can't cook an egg. You don't even know where the eggs come from. What's the point? The wisdom of this world is foolishness unto the Most High. So use his wisdom when you're in your household raising up your children, so they won't be out there stealing in California. They won't be out there doing what Eli's son was doing. See? Chastise your son and hold him to labor, making sure that he's working for something, to build something so that he can possibly get married, if it be the Most High's will. That is that he can get married. Lest his lewd behavior be an offense to thee. Now, I know a lot of people reads over this, but I'm going to show you something really quick. Watch this. Watch this. Indecency or obscenity. Vulgar sexual character or behavior. For example, the strip club has been shut down repeatedly for lewdness and public sexual acts. Behavior that is sexual in an obvious and offensive way. We cannot raise adulterous, fornicators, and whoremongers. So let's read it again. Some of y'all are, yeah, you know, some of your sons is trying to, you do a little bit too flirting on the side. Yeah. They don't have a pot to piss in if the daddy didn't work for it or if mama didn't work for it. When they trying to go marry somebody's daughter, are you kidding me? What you gonna do, make some more curses? Because all you gonna do is put this poor girl back into the curses because you don't got a pot to piss in. You still laid up under your parents. You're not handling your business as a man. So, but you want somebody's daughter. It's just hard out here. I'm burning out here. You burning and ain't earning. That's two things that don't match. Now, if you earning, you honorable, and you match the scriptures, guess what? There might be a chance that you possibly can get married because at least you're earning. But you burning and ain't earning. Come on now. I'm just saying you got to have the priorities straight. You have to lead her. Especially now that we have this knowledge. You have to lead her. She's looking at you. What we doing? Well, I thought you would have known. Excuse me. And he don't have to know everything. But what I'm saying is a lot of cats just, she's cute or she's bad. This is mine. And then when another dude come along and get her, he's mad. But brother, you didn't have it together. You wasn't finna get married within the next 5 to 10 years anyway. And you got a lot of older men. They'll dress nice, come to church. They hear the elder, yeah, let's start dressing nice in church. They dress nice. But then when you get married to a woman who thinking because you start dressing nice that you had your business together, you was just dressing nice. You really didn't have, you wasn't on your game. Now she's cooking, cleaning, going to work, and she see you just laid up. Yeah. Can you put some extra potatoes on there for me? But you was just dressing nice to the Sabbath, but you really didn't have it. See, she's not gonna deny that you handsome. Huh? Yeah, she's not gonna deny that you handsome. But you don't really, you don't have it, guys. Priorities. So you don't want your child to be some pervert. So don't raise him to be a pervert just because he's burning. He needs to be working just like it tells his sisters so they won't be busybodies. He needs to be working. Not overplaying the game, watching the wrong things on the internet, Instagram too long. No. He need to be working like he in the military or something. He don't need no time. Not while he's young, because you get into the wrong things. You get into the wrong things, but you're going to end up getting into somebody who got that jibby jabber thing. And guess what? Dad ain't going to be able to get you out of it. You're going to be walking around eventually like a zombie like the rest of these people, because there's time diseases that's coming out of some of these people. Some of them have taken, placebos and all that, but I'm just saying, you gotta be safe than sorry. You cannot suffer from people's choices. And if you got a hard-working young man, you teach him, hey, if you've passed the curses and been raised a righteous young man, his job is not to go and save a woman's problems. There's a lot of men who's not rich and they still doing good and they're good men. That's for him to do. I'm just being all the way real with y'all. Because some sisters got all these problems, they never can forgive themselves. A man that's just been raised by a righteous man, a good young man, he sees she's cute, but for some reason she's always negative, got problems, got issues, and for some reason he thinks it's his job to save that. We've fallen for things like that as a people. Can't do that. Well, what about us? It ain't what about us. You got to get that together, sister. You joining a man, but you joining with all of this negative. This happened to me when I was young, and this young man that went to college, worked hard, want a woman, and for some reason he's just attracted to women like that. But he really is not fit to save that type of woman. So you better fix that up. You didn't counsel, you got counsels fast, and it still ain't fixed. It's easy as just letting go, and guess what? Do a little exercise, keep yourself together, study, but just forgive and just let it go. You've been saved, you've been baptized, whatever the case may be. Excuse me, not saved, you've been baptized to put off of your sins, where the Most High don't have remembrance of your sins, but you still remembering them. How the Most High forgot your sins, but you ain't forget them? Okay? And then you bringing it to the man like he had it. Like, listen, this happened to me when I was young. Okay, we get it. He's here to give you a good life now. But why does he have to keep paying for it? It's not his job. Let it go before you get with somebody. Or guess what? That's like a breach of contract. Because you didn't tell him you coming into the marriage with all of this stuff. You didn't tell him you coming to the marriage with all this craziness. He coming in thinking he's finna have a happy marriage. The only thing you bringing up is stuff. He like, didn't we just do this? What's going on? I just bought you this. We just did this. We had a good time. Why is this bipolar situation going on right now? So young men, you don't work hard to only go back into a mess. Because let me tell you, I've seen young men, I've made these mistakes. Don't do it. And after I made it, I thought I was the only one. I said, good Lord, there's a lot of that going on in our neighborhoods. Right? And then later on, when they see you happy, now they want that, but don't really want it. It's like, oh my goodness, you live in with Michael Jackson in Neverland. You will never, even though you make everything right, you will never be happy. Father, have mercy. Father, have mercy. 1 Timothy 3:1. 1 Timothy 3:1. And now men is the bad guys because they don't feel bad about. We feel bad that anybody have went through any curses, but the thing about it, we've all went through different curses. It's just some people that's just continue to hold on to that. I learned that God don't feel sorry for us. So if I'm made in his image, I'm not feeling sorry for nobody either. I can have compassion on a person. But if they don't have compassion on their own self or love their own self, how can I love them? And that's as a people, we keep feeling sorry for everybody. Let me tell you, even in Texas, they like, listen, they doing away with the homeless because there's some homeless out here who actually can get up and get a job. Even in Uber, they got this new thing. I've seen some ads saying, listen, if you don't have a car for Uber, you can rent from us and they're going to take a percentage off of your little Uber stuff. They just creating jobs. People just don't want to work and be better. And am I saying that everybody's situation can get fixed perfect? That's not what I'm saying. But some people don't even try. If you knock, Christ will open that door. He can make a poor man rich overnight. Your grind ain't good enough. When I was out there, I left my mom's house at 19. She didn't tell me I had to go. I said, I'm about to go and be a man, mama. Mama got a house, a new house. Me being the oldest, I said, I seen mama struggle. I seen how hard she worked. I'm like, I am going out to be a man. She took me at 16 to get a job on my birthday. That was like, what you give me for my birthday, mom? She took me to get a job at 16. And I'm grateful she did that because guess what? It helped me even more now. Not only did I have to do a job, I had to pay a little bill in the house. It helped me. And I'm grateful for my mom for that. And I just seen her work so hard. I said, you know what? How can a mom do this for 5 kids, but I am going to sit up under my mom as a man? Heck no. Mom finally got a house in a neighborhood she didn't even think she was going to be able to get. She said, I can't afford this house. Believe it or not, it was a Gentile who said, listen, you can. I'm going to pay the down payment. It's a Pakistani lady. So sometimes you can't be so hard on the Gentiles like that. Pakistani lady paid the down payment for my mom's house. Mom got in there, been there ever since. And then she's like, son, I got this new house. I'm graduating high school. I said, Mom, I appreciate you, mama, but I got to go out and be a man. I moved to a whole new city. I think I went to San Antonio at the time. Figured it out. Ran a radio show. I struggled. I did things I probably shouldn't have did, but guess what? I was not a coward. I went out there to be a man. I cry sometimes. Sometimes I'm vacuuming cars, don't got no money, I'm picking up change in there, slept in my car. Listen, but I figured it out. So I can teach my son, I can teach young men these things. How not to give up, how God doesn't just come and rescue you just because you cry or just because you're cold. If he didn't come and rescue me, it's either I'm going to deny him or there's something because I feel like he's not coming. But I'm realizing, okay, so God don't feel sorry for me. I'm crying. There's no blanket that floated out the sky. There's no money that floated out the sky. He is either I'm going to waste away or there's something that I have to do. I realize that there's something that I had to do. Keep grinding, keep working harder, either swim or drown. That's it. Very simple. And keep doing it until I get it. And either I'm going to stay in the same position and keep the same results, or if I want better, I do better. I study harder. I work harder. I try to apply for a different job. I try to find out how to invest in different ways. That's how life works. It's already in us. Some help will come along the way sometimes, but that's what makes us who we are. That's faith and works. Faith without works is dead. See? Now, I've always had this thing God blessed me with of self-discipline. I could see things, get it very quickly, or if I didn't, I would ask the questions and eventually I would get it, but I would master it. But I always had like a self-discipline to where somebody don't need to tell me to do something. My children are the same. I'll see them doing something. I'm like, you told them to do that, baby? No, he's just doing it. Some people are blessed with certain things. Some people have to be taught certain things, but it's okay. We all can get to the same place if we're willing to learn. A person doing 100 push-ups, for some reason, I want to do 200. I don't want to just do 10 more. That's just how my mind works. I'll be doing push-ups and be like, get 10 more. But my 10 more is 30 more. So that's just the drive I've had. And some of us have to put this in our children. Not only just whip your children, you got to love your children. Spend time with them because they spell love like they used to say, T-I-M-E. Okay? Let's read. Don't let this just be for leaders what we're reading right now. Let this be for the children of Israel. You are the leaders of the earth. Men and women. We are the examples and the light to the world now. Obviously, this is specifically for men here. Men leaders. But also all of the black men, the Judite men. The Israelite men need to think the same way as 1 Timothy 3 says. You think you shouldn't do it just because you're not a leader? No, you should. You don't know if your child is going to be a leader one day. You're going to be a leader. What they're going to be. Keep this discipline in your household. 1 Timothy 3 and 1 says, this is a true saying, if a man desire the office of a bishop, he desired a good work. Not want to be desperate men. It's okay to desire to want to do something for your people. But you will know when a person's trying too hard, when they're doing too much. They're always trying to bring new scriptures and, man, check this out, man. The elder don't know what he's talking about, man. I got this on the, no. These are clowns. These are wannabes. Okay? The Bible says to wait on your ministry. These are people, they start doing songs and before you know it, they're doing lessons on Facebook. These are the people you got to watch out for. That's not what it's talking about right here. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, right? You're circumspect. You're not drinking all over the place, hanging out. Everybody's the homie. Everybody has let me tell you, everybody can touch you. That means you at every party. As a leader. Of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach. You have to be able to teach. You have to be appointed to teach. And it has to be known that you can teach and keep the same doctrine without adding your little stuff in there. Yeah, let me put this in there. They didn't put this in there. Not that to a certain degree that won't come out, because every man, after a while, only the Holy Spirit can teach him. But at the same time, you're not that deep. None of us are that deep. Christ did a whole lot. Christ did a whole lot. Obviously, there's certain ways that everybody's blessed to bring things out, is what I'm saying. But you got some people who's bringing in straight false doctrine, is what we're not supposed to do, is what I'm saying. Not given to wine. Not a striker, just fighting all over the place, starting mess. Not greedy or filthy lucre. Thieves of money, doing this just for money. You'll know when you got some people who just grinding without money doing this for years. Not that they can't fall, but you know after a while who cares about money like that and who don't. Straight up. But patient. Not a brawler. Not covetous. The things that we used to do in the world we cannot do. One that what? This is the part I want to focus on. Ruleth well his own house. One that ruleth well his own house. Okay? Having his children in subjection with all gravity. Does the church have to keep telling your babies to be quiet? Does the church have to keep telling your children to not do this and not do that? Stop putting trash over it. Stop being perverse. Stop being disrespectful to leaders. Stop being disrespectful to elders, running around all over the place acting crazy. And it's okay, because tonight, if you're listening, you can realize I need to be a little bit more responsible for my children. Everybody's household is not going to be the same, but I can tell you what, if I look at my children and they look at me in the eyes, they know if you don't chill, you're behind his mind when we get home. If I look, so they fix that thing. Yep. If I'm sitting out this seat too low, they like, uh-oh, daddy looking at me. He teaching a lesson, but he gave me that look. That is the image of God. He can just nod or he can just look. You have to stop a lesson and go and say, you need to be quiet. Even though I will. If I'm in a lesson and my son doing something, I'm like, yeah, hey, boy, sit back. But still, you should be able to just nod and just look. That means you putting time in with that. They may not be the smartest. They may not have the most money. But God can use that more than a person with all the so-called wisdom of the world, because they are obedient. You have taught them to be obedient to the image of God. Now they can be obedient to the God himself. See? Ruleth well his own house. We all got work to do. We all can get better. I used to be in Egypt. You know what they used to always tell me? You got the best behaved children in the church. I come back to Houston. Kids sitting down, not running all over the place. That doesn't, and guess what? That doesn't mean my children are better. That's just how I choose to serve my God. I want my children to obey their God. God only tells us one time. So I tell them some things, not everything. Some things, depending on what it is, it's only one time you have to do that. One time. Or some coming. Now there's some things, obviously, that just takes time, obviously. So overall, though, regardless of what I do, you need to do what you need to do in your own household. Ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. Some may not know what the definition of gravity means, so let's get it for them. All seriousness, like it's grave. One second. I wanted to get it on here, but I don't have my eSword open. 1 second. Give you the, because obviously they're gonna be coming up with the wrong definition of the gravity in science. There we go. G 4587. Gravity, honesty, seriousness. Something that's grave, it's serious. Right? 1 second. Let's go back to it, guys. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, this is the important part. How shall he take care of the church of God? How can you take care of a ministry in the church if your children are all over the place? So we have to make sure as their children, we start raising them up and doing the best we can do. And then guess what? When they get older, if they don't want to listen and they're out of our house, there's nothing they can do. There's situations like the prodigal son, where sometimes they go out there, they learn their mistakes, and they come back. Especially in our time of captivity, this can happen, because we're the people of captivity. So you're gonna have a lot of different situations where you have to give grace. You do. So don't read the scriptures and don't forget Christ. Yes, I'm reading the scriptures and there's laws and there's rules, but don't forget Christ, and don't forget that there's a lot of things that our people been through where all feet don't fit in the same shoe. Okay? All different sizes of feet can't fit in the same shoe. So you have to use Christ over all of these things and understand what you're dealing with. Some people have marriages with children from different, parents, and and it's or children who have been in different situations, and you're trying to get them on path. So it's not just, this is general, but there's a lot of situations where you have to keep Christ there. Because a lot of people ask questions, well, Elder, how do I do this and do this for this? Well, the Bible is not telling you for this situation. That's where there's other scriptures, and that's where sometimes experience from counselors in the church or people who have been through this can get you through. Now, I'm not just talking about your homegirl, because your homegirl, who you think is your homegirl, going to be telling your business all over the place. So you have to be very careful with that, okay? So I just want to let you know. Not a novice lest being lifted up with pride he fall into condemnation of the devil. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without. So you also to the Gentiles and the people who are not in the body have to have a good report. If they look at you like a fool, criminal, people cursing people out, evil, and they like, what church are you part of? They'll ask you, what church are you part of? Because they're asking you so you can embarrass your church because of your behavior they always see you do. And your cockiness, your arrogance. You're no different in the world. Why would I want to join that church? Look at your children, how your children behave. Look how you dress. Look how you speak to people. You think you're getting in just because God has favor with you because you're an Israelite. He has no respect of persons if you don't do what he says. Lest he fall into reproach and the snare of the devil. Likewise, must deacons be grave, not double-tongued, not given too much wine, not greedy of filthy lucre, whole in the ministry of faith and pure conscience. And let these also be first proved. Then let them use the office of a deacon, being found blameless. Even so must their wives be grave or honest, right? Focused, worshiping the Most High with all truth, not slanderers, not messy, sober, faithful in all things. Huh? Your wife can't be messy in all things if you want to be a leader. Let the deacons be the husbands of one wife. Not like these Hebrews running around here, calling on Yahweh, no disrespect. Don't have a pot to piss in, marrying all these wives, can't actually rule and handle the doctrine of the Most High. Because they too busy caught up in lust. It's a freak show like celebrities. When their wives, they'll tell you, oh, I'm happy. But then they watching our church, watching honorable men take care of their families. Let the deacons be husbands of one wife, ruling their children and their own house as well. Not just telling other people, get your house together, but your house ain't in order. You cannot be an example by being a castaway. People are going to be looking at you like, am I supposed to listen to this person who is not being an example? Just because you've been called a leader, if you're not an example, that part's going to be on you. For they that have used the office of a deacon will purchase to themselves a good degree and great boldness in the faith which is in Christ Yeshua. See? So, see if that's all I had there. I want to 2nd Ezra 14 and 13. Yeah, let me get that really quick. And then one more scripture. Check it out. 2nd Ezra 14 and 13. Now therefore, set thine house in order and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble. Now renounce corruption. Set that house in order. Last scripture is 1 Timothy. Sorry about that. Job 18 and 6. We showed a lot of things earlier about the unlawful, those who move without rule, governing, how we can't do it in our households, how we don't get favored just because we have talent as black people, because we can cook, we can clean, we're beautiful, how even in the truth, the same things don't matter. You're not going to get favored just because you can do that. You, like Christ said, you are of your father the devil if you don't do his works indeed. You can't go around being rude because you're a Hebrew, to your own and to those without. Be respectful, be honorable. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. So people who think that, hey, I can do all this, nothing's going to happen to me. So many scriptures on it. I just chose this one. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down, because he or she is listening to their own mind, not to their leaders, not to Christ. You have some people out there who says that you guys are bad for listening to your leaders. They're saying the men are cowards, the women, the people listening to the leaders more than Christ. Christ put the leaders over the people. They're hired shepherds over the sheep. So when you hear people saying these things, these are the same people who say we're not supposed to follow man, but they're following man to get their paycheck, to pay their bills. So these people have no clue of what they're talking about. These people will sit here also and watch our lessons. You might as well join our church and come back to class if you're going to sit here and waste your time watching the lessons. That means you're still following man, who you claim you don't want to follow. That now you have mental illness or mental illness. Now you have mental illness. You didn't want to follow man so much, but you're watching these same men. You either got mental illness or mental illness. Which one is it? Because I, as a grown man, if I don't like somebody or not feeling what they saying, I'm not sitting on here watching like some little girl, man, what did they say about me today? I'm going to go and do something that's fruitful. You either got two squirrel something down there or some bull ones. Straight up. I don't know grown men who's sitting up here, even women, watching somebody who you don't like. Who does that? Now you must be infatuated with me. Which shirt you want me to wear today since you infatuated with me? Because you must think I'm fly or something since you watching me every day. It's something you like about me. You say you don't follow man, but you sure follow me. I don't know if you like my jewelry, my chain, my spirit. What you like about me? You say you don't follow man, but you're watching the Saturday lessons. You're watching the Wednesday, the Tuesday lessons, the Friday lessons. What, you must like something to take your time off of little old us. Huh? But see, we don't do the rainbow thing. See? So if you're watching for that, hey, you might want to, go on somewhere else with that. Just saying. All we can give is a holy kiss. That's it. Anyway. And his own counsel shall cast him down, for he is cast into a net by his own feet. See? These people out here stealing in California, not knowing you cast into a net by your own feet. And he walketh upon a snare. Esau is going to lay a snare out for you. They are the hunter. The jinn shall take him by the heel, just like they catch them bears. The jinn going to take you by the heel when you think you're getting away. And a robber shall prevail against him. Who is a robber? Esau. Edom. And obviously we're not saying all Edom. Duh. Because people keep asking the same thing. Of course all Edom is not going to get destroyed. Of course not. There's a lot of good people of Gentiles out there. Why would God destroy people that wants to follow him? That doesn't make any sense. And the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. See, we try to tell people you're in our temptation. You want to go out there, huh? And be like the world. It's all ready for you. You can get you a man, woman, man, whatever they call them. I don't know. I don't know what they call them. I don't want to disrespect their names. I don't know which one to call them no more. See? Hey, you can get you somebody with a little serpent poison on the menu. Huh? Yeah. See? You can have it all, baby. Most High, like, listen, it's our temptation. He was only going to keep the righteous from our temptation. But if you want to fall into gluttony and lust, he's like, let's take it all. You want to be like Elon Musk? Go get you. Yeah. They are using them ugly RoboCop cars now, promoting it with rappers. Our people going to take this mark so easy. This dude is bringing the Neuralink, guys. Our people putting rims on it. I said they're going to promote the mark of the beast with rappers when I was 24 years old in this truth. I'm 39 now. And they're doing it. They're already promoting the steps of it before the Neuralink get here with rappers. Oh boy. You can't make this up. Terror shall make him afraid on every side. See, they didn't think about all the things that would come later. And shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. The firstborn of death, the devil shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and shall bring him to the king of terrors. it shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation, his root shall be dried up beneath. If you want to know about what's going to happen to your cousin who want to be a gangbanger, and who want to listen to you, who want to be a criminal, a robber, thief, hustler, pimp, hitting liquor. And when I say hitting liquor, who hit licks, and the one who's hitting the liquor. And above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth. He's in a better place. The reality is he's not in a better place. That's a lie. He's died robbing some people and he got shot. The reality is he's not in a better place. He's in a worse place. Instead of worshiping the Most High, he was worshiping the Most Low. And it's like our people have to hear it like this just to listen. I can't believe he said that. Huh? One of the brothers from the Wu-Tang Clan was like, why does we Christians think every time somebody dies, they're in a better place? That's just not the case. It's not our job to find out where they are, to worry about how the unrighteous shall be judged, but how we going to save the righteous. But at the same time, our people know dang on well, you know what this person was doing. Are you really being serious? You're telling yourself and your family to believe a lie. You know this person was robbing an old lady. He got shot by the cops, and all of a sudden he's going to a better place. The cops shot him. They're not worrying about nothing he did to this elderly sister. The cops shot him. Yeah, they weren't right for that. Was he right for what he did? But he's in a better place, right? Sometimes our people are so busy trying to survive, we don't think about some basic stuff like this sometimes, guys. Don't get me started with these BET awards. So sad. Embarrassment to our culture. We're talking about them right now. Reading this right here, if they don't repent. His remembrance shall perish from the earth. He shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness. And chased out of the world. Listen to what it said. Chased out of the world. These hellhounds gonna chase him out of the world. You wonder why you see some people run. They used to show this on all the movies. Why are some people just running like somebody coming to kill them, like they see something everybody else don't see? They used to always show the hellhounds chasing them. Chased out of the world. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any, very similar to what we read about Eli and his sons, nor any remaining in his dwellings. They that come after him shall be astonished. That means astonished at his day. As they that went before were affrighted. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked. The lukewarm are wicked, guys. They shall get spewed out. And this is the place of him that knoweth not God. We just read it in Christ. You are of your father the devils. You're not of Abraham, or you would have did the works that Abraham said to do. So even as Hebrews, you can claim to only be from Abraham, but Abraham didn't go around being a menace to society. Abraham wasn't going around cursing people out. Righteous, hospitable man. Honorable man. See? So I'm gonna leave it there for tonight. I love you guys. I'm not gonna do any calls today. We're gonna bring you the bread video next week. We're already working on it now. It's late. I got a big back day tomorrow. Make sure you go and get your supplements from KIIYSupplements.com. I gotta get me a little sleep. One sleep gummy left. Ultra test. Take that before I go to sleep. Make me sleep real nice. And get me prepared for tomorrow. Make sure you go to historytimes.org. Join our Hebrew and Bible Academy. All right. Make sure you go to KIIYSupplements.com to get yourself right. Okay. Helping a lot of people out there. And when I say a lot, I'm not marketing right now. That will be wrong. I'm telling you the truth. I know how to market. I'm good with words, but I'm telling you the truth because I feel very good about that. Okay, so make sure you go there. And thank you, Elder Rawchaa. Thank you, Elder Dale, for taking your time out to moderate for us. Thank you, my people, for tuning in tonight. Be ready for that bread because we're going to be going fed and you're going to be getting fed. Okay? So don't forget, just because we have knowledge, just because we are who we are, just because we have status, just because we have money, just because we're in a high position, the Most High is not going to show any favoritism if we don't try our best to do what he's telling us to do. Just because we're attached to people we may know who are great, and that's giving us a name under their umbrella, we have to respect that even more. It's just not going to be any favoritism just because. Okay? So it goes out for all of us. This lesson is not directed ever. No lessons is ever directed to anybody. These lessons is to go out as the Holy Spirit listed to help our people and to help. Hey, even the elders, when we teach lessons, sometimes the Holy Spirit reveals things that, hey, we're learning. Like, oh, I didn't know that was going to come out. Whatever the case may be, and you learn, you pick it up from there. Okay, so guys, do what you need to do. We're in the time of Jacob's trouble. It's a lot coming down the pipeline, as you see with these elections. Boy, make sure you're saving food. Make sure you got your shelter tight, your raiment tight. Like I said, we will be going into a lesson about clothing. Even if you never change your clothing, don't mean you're not going to be getting to the kingdom of heaven. It's just information. Okay? But obviously, when we know better, we should try to do better. That's it. That's all I'm saying. All right? So, peace and blessings to you all. And once again, make sure you go to historytimes.org. Stay in the gym. William Abercrombie, I see you, baby. I see you on there. Shalom, my brother. Listen, he tell you that ultra test is the truth. Ultra test is the truth. I see my boy doing all them pull-ups. Listen, I got to give him a shout out. I see a lot of people on Instagram, Facebook working out, getting healthy. I'm starting to see a lot more workout videos. That's a blessing. It's all about us encouraging one another, not hooking out, lift one another, and all of this stuff. I just been doing this for such a long time. So when you see some of these big weights and me doing a lot of stuff, you don't have to do that to get muscle, guys. Don't go out there and hurt yourself, okay? Because I use a lot of lightweight to actually build muscle. A lot of my training you seeing right now is really for strength and power and just to have a lot of fun and stay in shape. But just get in there and get active, okay? All right. So peace and blessings. We love you all. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for Elder's lesson. Okay, my lesson comes right before his. And make sure you tune into Deacon Hazak's lesson, Elder Rawchaa, the Sabbath lesson in the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Peace and blessings to you all. We got our trumpets coming up soon in the months to come. Tabernacles, Day of Atonement. So Most High is all, I already got those days on the calendar, and we're already prepping and getting ready for those days as a church. So make sure you do what you need to do. Save your money. Do whatever you need to do to be a part of that. Make sure you guys are paying your tithes and your offerings, okay? You can go to $, G.O.C.C 144 donate, okay? Tithes and offering, $ gather 144 G.O.C.C. Don't be a hypocrite and strain your church. If you're a part of the church, pay your tithes. I mean, goodness gracious, what you listening to all his lessons? Don't muzzle the ox that treadeth the corn. Do what you need to do, okay? This is how we raise a church. Giving God his 10%, building the church. Not just listening to the lessons and going home. Do what we need to do to build that church. All right? So, anyway, peace and blessings. historytimes.org.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that he used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you